Half a second late. Give me a fucking break, okay? Trying over here. Working my ass off. Okay? Broadcast, I don't care who's listening. I have to speak, make noise from my face hole constantly. You know this to be true. Just have to keep making noise out of my face hole until somebody listens. Build it, and they will come. That's what they told me. I built it. Who's coming? Is anybody coming? Who the fuck is coming? I expect someone to come. Come now or forever hold your peace. Going on around here. Shit is weird and crazy. Hey, Hotep. Hotep's in the house. TruthSlinger News. All right. Yay. How you doing, man? It's good to see you, Hotep. So, like, we're here to watch more stuff, more RNC news. Wow, my camera's like all crooked and shit. All right, let me just figure this shit out. There we go. All right. So yeah, we're watching the RNC tonight. I'm like totally not set up, but that's all right. So it's good to have you here tonight. It's been fun. It's been crazy. The news cycle is just nuts, man. I mean, seriously. So let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna show you some shit. No. Yeah, we'll go over here. We'll go over here to the old X feed, which is always awesome, right? We'll start there. And then I'll figure out what the hell we got to do with getting the RNC on. They'll be on in about 15 minutes. But let's start here. Let me see. Come on. Here we go. Do 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 do. All right, keep that up. I'm totally unprepared. I'm sorry. That'll work. There we go. Okay. So I've been tweeting today. I get into so much trouble, man. I tweeted today, I visited the Secret Service website because, I'm just thinking to myself, this whole mess about the president and Secret Service and DEI and everything. It's a total mess. It's all a piece of shit. Okay. I mean, DEI. Okay, what the fuck is DEI doing in the Secret Service? The most elite, trained, personal protection, defensive organization on the planet. But you know what? We want to include women. Why? Why exactly do we want to do this exactly? I mean, why? Really? What good reason do we have for fucking wanting to do this? Okay? But I made a little package. I did a package today, I made a little package, and it happens every time, every once in a while. I just, I make one. It just happens. And so you're just going to have to enjoy it because it's underappreciated on X. So check this out, right?
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building from inside.
Yeah, the sloped roof. So that's the latest. You guys have seen that, right? Let's watch this again. Come on. I worked really hard on it.
Should that roof have been secure, period?
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so
it has a sloped roof at its highest point. And my guess is it probably has a sloped roof at its lowest point, too. Did you pick up on that? I mean, I'm just saying.
Period.
That building in particular has a sloped roof at its highest point. And so, there's a safety factor that would be considered there, that we wouldn't want to put somebody up on a sloped roof. And so, the decision was made to secure the building.
We made the decisions based on what?
From inside.
OSHA rules? Seriously, guys, right? I mean, what the fuck is going on right now? Okay. Look at this. Look at this. This is the White House. Look at the slope roof. Look at that guy standing up there. Seriously, people? Right? Can you smell the bullshit from here? Oh my God. Is it really? Isn't it every day is bring your wife to work day at the White House? Hotep? Isn't it? I thought it was. I was pretty sure it was. It's the only thing that explains what the hell is going on. All right. Let me find this. All right,
let's jump to the story from the Post.
Stop. Just screwing around now. All right, let's do this. All right, there you go. We're watching it live. Are you excited? God, it's exciting. Hello. Yeah, we're watching the building. It's Trey Cool, right? So I hope you had a good day. We've been consuming media all day. And I'll tell you the biggest thing that I have gotten out of today's media viewing, okay, is that we've gone from they knew about him about 5 or 10 minutes before the shooting or a couple minutes before the shooting to they knew about him about 26 minutes before the shooting, and then it's up to 3 hours now, guys. 3 hours. Pretty soon, what's going to happen is it's going to be like, yeah, well, you know, we had our eyes on him for a couple of weeks, right? What the fuck is going on right now, right? This is the biggest security failure in Social Security or Secret Service history. Social Security, Secret Service history. It's crazy, right? And this woman should she takes the buck stops here. What do you mean the buck stops here? The buck stops here, but then it doesn't stop there. Oh God. All right. Yeah, it does. It's crazy. Okay, fire her ass. Get rid of her. Right? I mean, what world do we live in? There is absolutely zero. I mean, hello. Donald Trump asked this question. When was the last time you fired anybody, Joe? Right? When was the last time somebody was fired for any of this crap and garbage? Right? It's time. It's time to start firing people, holding people accountable, right? And they need to go to jail, as far as I'm concerned, right? They just do. They need to go. Because they've been breaking the law, and they're trying to kill the former president of the United States of America. And you can kiss my ass. You can tell me all sorts of shit and say, well, you can't be for sure, Tim. Speculation. Come on, man. Hey, I got some new sounds.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
No, seriously, though. No, I got some new sounds.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing has changed. Everything is totally normal, right? Totally normal.
No.
No. How about this one?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
What the hell is that?
Right? Isn't that what's going on here? Right?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
None of this makes any fucking sense. It's just bullshit.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
I want to play the shit out of that one because it's true. It's absolutely true. Right?
No.
None of what you're trying to feed us is true. None of it is right. None of it makes any sense. It's not right. It's not true. And I don't believe it. And they did. They probably MK Ultra'd one of these motherfuckers. I'm pretty sure that's where we're at. To get him to freak out and do what he did. And then maybe they use the other train guy too. I don't know. All day long, you know, it's like there's no coverage of the second shooter. None. All the second shooter stuff is like underground. You understand what I'm saying? It's like nobody's talking about. What was the guy's name? The other guy's name? What was it? What was his name? The other shooter that was supposed to be the other guy. Maxwell, Uric. Yeah, that guy. Whatever. I'm not seeing it. I'm not saying it's not there. It's just like, but it's a big kludge. Clearly, it's a big kludge, and clearly, something isn't right, and they're not telling us everything. And it's just clear to me. It's just absolutely clear to me. So, Garfunkel. I have no idea what that means, but okay. No, I don't like Art Garfunkel. But I really didn't like Simon either. It's just me. All right. So, yeah, okay, we got the RNC convention up. It's kind of happening, but like, let's do something else. Because there's nothing happening. And so, in the absence of happenings, then we're going to do something else. Let's do this. Let's just start with something. Oops. Because there's boringness, and I hate boringness. Boring is boring. Here we go. Hold on, I gotta let my dog out.
Sir, she's here again. She wishes to confess. Are you here to
Dude, I know who Art Garfunkel is.
Trouble
All right, here we are. We're still waiting on the Republican National Convention. It's going to get going around 7. I thought it was going to get started a little earlier this evening. Hey. Da, 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 da. La, 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 la. So tonight we're going to be watching J.D. Vance is going to be making a speech. Oh, nice. And apparently Donald Jr. is making a speech tonight. So it's going to be fun. We're not going to see Donald. It's going to be tomorrow night. It's going to be the big shebang, right? That's when we're just going to shoot the wad. Shoot the wad, man. Yeah, this is official. It's when they're going to go, wow, and raise their hands in the air, and they're going to make speeches and shit. It's going to be cool. So we're excited about that. Yeah. It's been a good convention, I think, so far. Don't you? Huh? Wait. Don't you think so?
Yes, I do.
It's been good, right?
Very good.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, it's kind of being big tenty, kind of like love on each other, right? Everything, huh?
A lot of positivity.
Love and positivity, right? Exactly. So everything's been cool, man. We've been hanging out. So, listen, I'm just gonna go for a minute on the autopilot and go do a couple things and just hang out, whatever. Stay tuned. We're gonna just do like all sorts of fun stuff tonight, right?
No.
No, we will. Really, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be awesome, right? Do you hear these new sounds? You can't hear them, can you? Put your headphones on for a minute. No, never mind. It don't work. Good drumming. You want some drumming? Oh, no. Hang on. My headphones are jacked again. There we go. I can hear. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, hello. Oh, God. I got to get some new headphones really badly. I can't hear myself. If I can't hear myself, then I'm just, you're going to have to. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Stop. I'm having real problems. You got to get me another set of headphones. These are terrible. I can't hear myself. There we go. I can't hear myself. It's terrible. Because I can't hear myself. And I got to have this like thing, like I got to just put the tip in. You know? It's like, you know how putting the tip in sucks. Okay? I want to insert fully. I just want to insert it completely and have it work. Okay? Right now I got to like jiggle the tip and shit. Okay? Until I can hear myself. It's ridiculous.
Breaking, Joe Biden tests positive for COVID.
What?
Oh, COVID's going to take him out?
Are you shitting me? No. Okay, wait a minute. Wait. 1 minute ago, boys and girls, Joe Biden just tested positive for COVID-19. Is that even like a thing anymore? Seriously. Is that like a thing anymore? It's not, is it? It's not. Are people really doing like this thing? I mean, come on. COVID. All right, where the hell we are. There we go. Full string line. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, Joe Biden is COVID-19, apparently. I mean, that's what I said. Breaking news, right? Isn't that what I told you? That's what I said. Breaking. Okay. I'm telling you, man. All right. Where are we at? Why am I even doing this? Okay. Let me see. La, 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 la. There we go. All right, let me change this over, and I'll be with you in like, a minute or two. When something happens, I mean, there's nothing happening, It's just like, I like to be entertaining, but I have a life. So I'll be right back. Don't worry.
Do we have any sandwiches left?
Yeah, it's in the bag. It's nice, relaxing, right? Makes you calm, feel better. That's why you tune in here, so that you can feel better. about ready to vomit with this music, right? Let's just try something else. What? Trying something else. Something completely different because it's so boring. Mm-hmm.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream fuck you. Wear your mask, take your pills. Now a whole generation's mentally ill. Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Doc does it, and they call them racist. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Fuck Facebook. Fuck Twitter too. And the mainstream media. Fuck you too. Woo. Yeah, you. We the people. Inflation's up like the minimum wage, so it's all the same. Ain't a damn thing changed. You piece of shit, I don't see color. Black lives matter. No shit, motherfucker. But we gotta keep fighting for the right to be free. And every human being doesn't have to agree. We all bleed red, brother, listen to me. It's time for love and unity. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Let's go run. We the people. Fuck CNN. Fuck TMZ. And you social media trolls, y'all can suck on these nuts. That's what's up. Ha ha. If you're down with love and wanna make things better, all we gotta do is just come together. Weather the storm, take my hand, and follow my lead to the promised land. 'Cause we the people, we gotta unite and follow that good time guideline. Climb aboard this love boat and rock that bitch up and down the coast.
In order to form a more perfect union, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Standing up and standing tall. 'Cause it's all for one. And it's
Shout out to Bass Records.
Yeah. Da da
Hey, yo,
da.
Hunter.
Da, da.
Roll up another one of them congressional.
La da da la da da la da da.
He was gonna get his laptop fixed, but Hunter
I got high.
He wasn't gonna show all them dick pics, but
Hunter got high.
he should have let Hillary bleach his
Yeah,
hard drive. Yeah.
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high. La da 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 da.
He wasn't gonna mess with the hoes, but Hunter got high. He was gonna take them all out on the boat, but Hunter got high. He's the smartest man Joe ever knew
In his life.
Yeah,
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high. La da 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 da.
He was gonna go visit his dad, but Hunter got high. He thought he had a secret stash, but Hunter got high. The White House got shut down. We all know why. Yeah.
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high.
He never could pay worth a fuck. Hunter got high. Now he gets a $500,000 and up. Damn, that's high.
That's really high.
That's higher than me. Biden never used to start with BUI. Yeah.
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high. La da 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 da.
Ukraine wasn't part of the plan till Hunter got high. China wasn't that big of a fan till
Hunter got high.
He wasn't gonna split it all with the
No
old
big guy.
Yeah, till
Hunter got high.
till
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. La da 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 da.
He wasn't gonna go to court, but Hunter got high. He never been indicted before, but Hunter got high. His attorney's out smoking a bowl, and we all know why. Yeah, 'cause
Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high. La da 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 da
He
da.
was making 80 G's a month, but Hunter got high. On a job brother ain't never done.
Hunter got high.
He got more LLCs than
John got his ex-wife. Hunter got high. Hunter got high. Hunter got high.
His cousin was never a pimp till Hunter got high. He had the best friends that money could rent, but Hunter got high. Just imagine if he wasn't rich and so damn wide. Yeah, the cops will raid his house, eat his lemon pound cake, disconnect his cameras and steal his money.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The hell is this?
Cooler full of cold ones, rusted out Chevy, steaks over charcoal, game on the TV. I ain't got a swimsuit, sure as hell gonna jump in. Another shot of Cuervo, turn up on the weekend. Turn up on the weekend. Turn up on the weekend. Cold beer, fresh deer, all in the bed of my truck. Ride home down to living with a real nice haul, 'cause you know my boys can hunt. Wash off, get high, put on the new Levi's. Walk in the bar, feel like rock stars, we got all the ladies' eyes. Tell the DJ, put on a fast one. Top 40, find a show to get my groove on. 3 shots got me looking for a
I didn't
thick
see it.
one.
I didn't see it on Crowder.
Kind of girl drinks Jack all night long. full of cold ones, rusted out Chevy, steaks over charcoal, game on the TV. I ain't got a swimsuit, sure as hell gon' jump in, take another shot of Cuervo, turn up on the weekend, 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 turn up on the back at the crib, fresh bib, big old rack of ribs. Meat fall off the bone, smoke a little homegrown. Yeah, I got the whole party lit. Now Kenny mixing up margaritas. Play pong with some pretty senoritas. Booze, blunts, bad bitches, and my best buds. Friday night, put your motherfucking drinks up. Friday night, baby, put your fucking drinks up. Turn up on the weekend. Turn up on the weekend. Turn up on the weekend. Turn up on the. Turn
What's with all the brown chicks? I mean, you know, it's a little weird. That was cool. A little different. Whoa. We got music. We got activity. I guess the festivities start at 7 tonight. We keep jerking it around. Yeah, dude, enjoyed it. Tell me the things you want to do for me. I ain't got a thing I think I see. Taking it to the streets. All right, I'm going to play some for you. I really dig this song, dude. Couldn't find it last night. Found it today.
Welcome to the church in the wild. I live with dudes, haven't been to church in a while. I've chosen this lifestyle. You ever met my friends? Porn stars, dope dealers. They like, why you chill with them? I thought you was a Christian. Yeah, I'm on that team, but I'm with them cause my life's the only Bible that they've ever seen. So wanna be an earshot from the church bell. I wanna win souls near gunshots in the worst hell. Telling them Christ became a curse for their sin. With my words and my works, they won't come in. I'm bringing church to them. Yeah, that's why I live where I live. They say you acting crazy, that ain't no place to raise your kids. But if we ain't living it, who else gonna show 'em what a family's supposed to look like instead of them broken homes? Gotta be living stones around where they getting stoned. Live to know him, die to make him known till he take us home. Let's go. I wanna go where the wild things are. Yeah. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. You scared? Christ died for the terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are. If you catch me in a bar where the wild things are, with my pastor and the entourage who loves God, please don't think that it's odd. We kick it round broken hearts, fishing for men, surrounded by sin, but ain't taking part. I talk about Jesus, all the Christians love me. I walk like Jesus, now they wanna judge me, ain't it funny? I'm ducking stones thrown from the Pharisees. Gospel of peace upon my feet like a paraclete. Walking with the paraclete that's Greek for the spirit. They say the wild things that eat you up. Who shall I fear when God is walking with me? If I die, that's a win. That's the seed of the church. Plus I get to be with him, and we so undefeated. Like Hanes made our sneakers. I had beef with Jesus, then my sinner got deleted. So I gotta go and speak it to those who really need it. Let the gospel off the leash. Go and be where the beast at. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking.
Wow, sorry. Church in the wild. I live with dudes, haven't been to church in a while. I've chosen this lifestyle. You ever met my friends? Porn stars, dope dealers. They like, why you chill with them? I thought you was a Christian. Yeah, I'm on that team, but I'm with them cause my life's the only Bible that they've ever seen. So wanna be an earshot from the church bell. I wanna win souls near gunshots in the worst hell. Telling them Christ became a curse for their sin. With my words and my works, they won't come in. I'm bringing church to them. Yeah, that's why I live where I live. They say you acting crazy, that ain't no place to raise your kids. But if we ain't living it, who else gonna show 'em what a family's supposed to look like instead of them broken homes? Gotta be living stones around where they getting stoned. Live to know him, die to make him known till he take us home. Let's go. I wanna go where the wild things are. Yeah. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. You scared? Christ died for the terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are.
get round broken hearts, fishing for men, surrounded by sin, but ain't taking part. I talk about Jesus, all the Christians love me. I walk like Jesus, now they wanna judge me, ain't it funny? I'm ducking stones thrown from them Pharisees. Gospel of peace upon my feet like a paraclete. Walking with the paraclete that's Greek for the spirit. They say the wild things that eat you up. Who shall I fear when God is walking with me? If I die, that's a win. That's the seed of the church. Plus I get to be with him. And we so undefeated. Like Haynes made our sneakers. I had beef with Jesus, then my sinner got deleted. So I gotta go and speak it to those who really need it. Let the gospel off the leash. Go and be where the beast at. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I wanna go where the wild things are. I'm talking lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. Lions, tigers, bears, alright. Christ died for this terrible heart. That's why I wanna be where the wild things are. Where the wild things are.
That is so cool. I really like that song. I want to go with where the wild things are, right? What the hell is going on? I don't know.
It's now confirmed 3 U.S. troops were killed by a drone strike linked to Iran.
There's something going on.
"31 Americans died today in Israel after an attack by Hamas.
According to NBC, a Chinese spy balloon that flew across our country gathered intelligence from U.S. military operations.
13 American soldiers have been killed by a suicide bomber in Biden's failed pullout from Afghanistan.
The Defense News reports today that the U.S. military is in decline, and threats from China are formidable.
Prevailing view among Americans is that U.S. influence in the world is weakening, and China's is growing.
A new poll out reveals that Americans believe their influence in the world has weakened.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Delegates and alternates, ladies and gentlemen, Republicans around the world, have we had a great first 2 days of this 2024 Republican National Committee? You know, when you think about where we are as a country today, you got to start by thinking about where we were 4 years ago. 4 years ago, Russia was in check. China was in check. Iran was in check. Our southern border was secure, and our economy was strong. Where are we today? Russia has invaded Ukraine. They've parked a nuclear missile-capable boat 90 miles off our shore in Havana, Cuba. China is saber-rattling and threatening Taiwan. And Iran has openly attacked our ally, Israel, through its proxies and with its missiles. 10 million illegal immigrants have come across our southern border. And we don't know who they are, where they are, or what they're doing. Our economy is not nearly as strong as it was 4 years ago. We can do better. We need to do better. Tonight, we are going to hear from great speakers from across the Republican Party. We are going to hear from President Trump's son, Donald Jr. We're going to hear from the next Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. And we are going to hear from real Americans who are going to tell their stories about how we need to make America strong again. So it is my pleasure to gavel open this third day of the 2024 Republican National Convention.
Offering today's invocation, please welcome Delegate Evelyn Nunez-Jones from California.
Please bow your heads. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be together in this room. It has been a long journey for many of us, especially for President Trump and his family. Please remember our fellow patriot, Corey Competori. At this time, we invite you, Holy Spirit, to be part of our convention. We praise you, Heavenly Father. We seek for you to guide the steps of this delegation, the steps of our President Trump, and the steps of his newly chosen Vice President, J.D. Vance. Remove all stumbling blocks. Jesus Christ, we ask for a new restoration of America, especially for our children. We pray for protection, divine wisdom, and revival for our country, for my state of California and our party. In the name of Jesus, we pray for victory in 2024. En el nombre de Dios, In the name of Jesus, amen. Let freedom reign. Woo!
In the
Please
name of
rise
cheese
for the
sauce.
presentation of colors. The colors are
Always
presented by
gotta have that
Scouts of
cheese
America,
sauce.
Troop 222
It's really good on the
of
chips.
Racine, Wisconsin.
I like it, cheese
Let's
sauce.
give them a warm welcome.
You like cheese sauce with chips? I like cheese sauce. Cheese sauce is very good. Left, right, left.
Color guard, hold. Color guard, forward, base.
Please remain standing
Why
for the
do
Pledge
they
of
look like
Allegiance
Boy
and the
Scouts,
national
for fuck's
anthem.
sake? Look like kids. It is. Jesus Christ, they're Boy Scouts.
Ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen,
fuck.
please welcome John Coughlin from New Hampshire to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Now, to perform the national anthem, please welcome Jenny Thiel.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Please remain standing
Thank you.
while the colors are retired.
Thank you.
Right, base. Color guard, forward, march. Left,
Thank you.
left,
Thank you very much.
left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, left.
Before his weakness, America had strength. Strength respected by our allies, feared by our adversaries. Strength that kept Russia out of Ukraine. The Middle East at peace. Iran's nuclear efforts stalled. Our borders safe and secure. Terrorist ISIS destroyed. And American soldiers out of war. Because that's what a strong leader does. And our soldiers always knew this commander-in-chief had their backs. He was there with them on graduation day, visited with them here and around the world, gave them their largest pay raise in a decade, and he never forgot them after they served, and made sure every vet finally got the health care they deserved. President Trump, he's making America safe and strong again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Congressman Brian Mast of Florida.
Good evening, America. I'm Congressman Brian Mast. Now, I've got to start with a salute to every warrior standing guard around the globe on an aircraft carrier, in a foxhole, on a base somewhere, in this audience, or just watching from home. We love you, veterans. We love them. We love them. I, too, am an Army veteran, a husband, a father of 4. I lost 2 legs and a finger in the war in Afghanistan. But nothing could stop me from standing alongside Donald Trump and fighting for America. Every one of you American service members and every veteran knows the dangers when we join the armed forces, but we risk our lives because we believe in America. As president, Donald Trump rebuilt our military, deterred our enemies, and he made America strong again. Now, I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have once again weakened our armed forces, and through inflation slashed the size of our military budget, just like they slashed the family budget. And at the same time, they've distracted our troops with millions of hours of so-called extremism training, and they've based promotions on adherence to left-wing political ideology rather than merit. They would rather lose a war than use the wrong pronouns, and we've had enough. Donald Trump knows that our military needs warriors and not woke weaklings lecturing our warriors.
The Washington Post newsroom delivers breaking events around the world as they happen. Unrivaled reporting from the journalists you've come to trust. To get the facts fast and meet the challenges of today head on. Get the news that matters most with a special offer by visiting WashingtonPost.com/watch. Subscribing unlocks instant access, bringing you the Post's award-winning coverage anytime, any place. Because democracy dies in darkness.
I could not be more proud tonight to present to you and to all of America my father and our next president, Donald J. Trump.
To each of you in this hall, this giant hall that's packed to the rafters, get ready to fight, get ready to win. Together, we will take back the House. We will take back the Senate. Most importantly, in 2024, we are going to take back our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful White House.
Night 3 of the Republican National Convention, and all eyes will be on J.D. Vance, Donald Trump's pick to be his vice president. Vance will introduce himself tonight to Republican voters and the American people. This evening's theme is Make America Strong Once Again. Expect to focus on the military and national security and America's spot on the world stage, but the Republican Party is in the midst of a major identity shift, embracing isolationism and a protectionism that ends at the water's edge. In other breaking news tonight, President Joe Biden has COVID. The White House says he is experiencing mild symptoms, and he is still facing calls to step down from the presidential race from within his own party. This is live coverage from the Washington Post of the Republican National Convention. I'm Libby Casey in Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum, and I'm joined tonight by senior political correspondent Rhonda Colvin and columnist James Hohmann. We're also joined back in Washington by J.M. Riegert, senior video journalist. J.M., tell us more about the breaking news of President Biden's health tonight.
As you just mentioned, Libby, the president is experiencing, quote, mild symptoms, according to the White House. He just boarded Air Force One a few minutes ago en route back to Delaware to self-isolate. Biden told reporters that, quote, I feel good. The president's doctor says that he's experiencing a running nose, a cough, and, quote unquote, general malaise. He's going to continue to carry out his duties in Delaware. The White House doctor the president's doctor also noted that the president has received his first dose of Paxlovid and is fully boosted and has received all of his vaccines for COVID to date. But Libby, this comes just hours after yet another Democrat called for President Biden to step down atop the Democratic ticket, this time Representative Adam Schiff from California, who's running for Senate. And this was also as Biden was making a campaign swing through Nevada, a crucial swing state in this election. So we'll have to see how this plays out in the days and weeks ahead here. Libby?
Thanks so much, JM. Rich Matthews is here in the Fiserv Forum. Right here, we can see the action right behind me. Rich is on the other side of this complex. The delegates are really filling up the floor between us. Rich, what can we expect tonight?
Well, you know, that overarching theme you just mentioned of Make America Strong Again, we know we're going to hear about military and economic threats from China, border security, border security, border security, energy independence, the need for it, and also restoring America's place in the world essentially as a superpower. You could expect to hear from what the RNC is referring to as everyday people, a rancher from Texas whose land is right along the border. He'll talk about what he calls a near constant stream of drugs and human trafficking moving across his property. You'll hear from a petroleum engineer about that need for energy independence and even the ability of the country to have energy independence. Multiple decorated veterans, including a World War II veteran, and more recently a soldier who won the Medal of Honor for fighting in Fallujah. And then you'll also hear from Gold Star families, of course, Gold Star families, folks who've lost loved ones in war. Now, in addition to the everyday people, we do have some heavy hitters on the agenda, including Representative Matt Gaetz from Florida. Gaetz, a frequent attendee at Trump events and someone that was with him in New Hampshire when he won New Hampshire. I've never heard a speech from Matt Gaetz that couldn't be classified as fiery, so we'll certainly be looking to see what he has to say. And also Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, a very vocal critic of Joe Biden and his policies on the border, and a strong supporter of Trump's border policies. He's here tonight, and of course it all leads up to that speech from J.D. Vance that I'm sure we'll talk a lot about both before and after. Libby?
All right, thanks so much, Rich. Rhonda, what is the messaging from J.D. Vance tonight that we can anticipate, and what is the purpose of him giving like the big speech of the night tonight?
Well, the purpose this time around is to introduce himself, because as we've been reporting throughout the week, a lot of the country doesn't know J.D. Vance. Of course, he's the junior senator from Ohio, recently elected in the last election, and a lot of people don't know him. So I think this will be a moment that we're all going to listen in and try to figure out, okay, what's his tone? What will he be bringing to the table? What I've heard from campaign officials is that he is going to really dig into the reason he was picked, which is to talk to the Rust Belt community. He's going to talk about how he has Appalachian roots, that he feels people in Ohio and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania have been left behind. So that is one of the reasons we believe he was chosen by Donald Trump to run with him, and he's really going to lean into that tonight. Again, you've mentioned that this is Make America Strong Again. I have also heard that there is going to be real emphasis on the border specifically. I know Rich just laid out much of the plan, but the southern border in particular will be a big topic tonight.
And it was last night already, James. And, so if these things sound familiar to people, The only difference is they have a once again in front of the it's like, do this once again, make it strong once again. So they haven't deviated too far from their path. But why do Republicans think that this message of the border is important for them? And how is a foreign policy night a little bit complicated for this room?
It really is. This is the biggest audience J.D. Vance has ever had. And one of the things Donald Trump likes about him is that he rejects traditional conservative orthodoxy. This is no longer the party of Ronald Reagan. And Vance is trying to say, as Trump did 8 years ago when he ran, let's turn inward. Let's not look outward. Vance served in the Marine Corps. He served overseas. He's going to say we need to be focused on here at home, not the war in Ukraine, not promoting democracy. And that is what the Republican Party is now about. And I think but ultimately, the VP night is typically the attack dog night. It's the night where the number two comes out and swinging against the other side. Traditionally, Trump has been happy, even relished playing that role himself at the top of the ticket. But with this effort to sort of project a kinder, gentler tone, to sandpaper down Trump's rough edges, as we heard last night from Lara Trump, will Vance try to replicate that tone? On Saturday night, he said that Joe Biden's rhetoric directly caused the assassination attempt on President Trump. If he talks like that, I'd be surprised. Ultimately, I think because Trump is sort of anointing him as the future of the MAGA movement, the person that he will pass the torch to in 4 years, I think there's going to be a lot of bio, a lot of, I'm one of you. But it'll be a fascinating tension to watch. And this is a speech that they're going to have to have written in the last 48 hours.
It sort of reminds me when Sarah Palin was picked to be John McCain's running mate, how there was so much banking on that speech because it was her chance to introduce herself to an audience, many of whom didn't even know how to pronounce her last name. Now, J.D. Vance has some more name recognition than that because he's been serving in politics down here in the lower 48. But he really came to prominence because of Hillbilly Elegy, because of the book he wrote that came out on the eve of the 2016 election. And so it was really this moment where America was talking about the culture of our country and where the MAGA movement had come from. We're going to be talking about all of that tonight. Up next, though, speaking is Congressman Ronnie Jackson, a man who's worn a lot of different hats, including the doctor who was working at the White House, James.
Yeah, he was Trump's White House physician. Trump nominated him to be the VA secretary. Then he had to pull out, and now he's in Congress from Texas.
All right, well, let's listen to what he has to say, especially of interest because of Trump's recent wound suffered on Saturday during that assassination attempt.
All right. All right, all right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, and good evening to my delegation from Texas. My name is Dr. Ronnie Jackson, and I'm the congressman from the 13th Congressional District of the great state of Texas. Prior to being in Congress, I served on active duty in the Navy for 25 years. I was a Navy deep sea diver, an emergency medicine doctor, and a combat physician in Iraq. During that time, I also had the distinct privilege of serving for 14 years as White House physician. But most importantly, I served as the appointed physician to the greatest president that this country has ever had, Donald J. Trump. And not only that, but now I can say I served a president who literally took a bullet for our country.
Goddamn straight, buddy. Goddamn straight.
President Trump and I have been through a lot together over the years, but I have never, ever been prouder of his leadership than I was last Saturday.
Hell yeah.
His warrior spirit and his display of will to keep fighting for our country, even after getting shot down, will go down as an all-time moment in American history. I know firsthand from my time at the White House that being a president is an unrelenting 24/7 job. Time off truly just doesn't exist. Our president needs to make clear and decisive decisions in a moment's notice.
Right.
When the phone rings in the middle of the night, the president must be ready. Unfortunately,
You think
our
this
current
president is
not
ready?
ready for that call. Let's not kid ourselves. Father Time has not been kind to Joe Biden.
Oh.
And China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea, they do not respect Biden's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. schedule.
That's right.
And we would not be in this situation were it not for Joe Biden's staff and his family. They should have compassion for him and prioritize his health and our country's security.
Let him eat the
But
pudding.
they have put their own interest above America's interest. Perhaps the greatest blame lies with his own Vice President, Kamala Harris. She has not been truthful with us. She has lied to us. She has put party above country, and she is as unfit in character as Joe Biden is in body and mind.
That's a thought, isn't it?
Between the wide open southern border, the botched Afghanistan withdrawal, record high inflation, and the devastating crime in our streets, this administration has now produced a legacy of failure, disappointment, and danger. There is simply too much at stake to have someone who can barely shuffle to a podium be the one that is responsible for the safety and the security of our
Did
country.
he just say that? He did, didn't he? Barely shuffle to a podium.
Every second,
Right.
every second that Joe Biden remains
He's
in the
not
White
wrong,
House,
is he?
this country becomes less safe. However, under President Trump's leadership, we will restore our standing on the world stage.
Yes, we will.
We will bring back our great economy we had.
Yes, we will.
We will finally secure our southern border.
Yes, we will.
We will rebuild our great military.
We will.
We will clean up crime in our streets.
We will.
And most importantly, we will have a president who is respected by our allies and who is feared by our enemies and who leads with strength.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Let me close by saying the path forward is simple. It is very simple and straightforward.
He was
We
good,
need to
but
make
he was
America great again, and we need to do everything we possibly
monotone.
can to re-elect Donald J. Trump as our president. Thank you all.
from
God
start
bless
from
you.
start to
God
finish.
bless
He's
America,
like
and God bless
monotone. You agree? I mean, he's just like, you know.
Congressman Ronnie Jackson, news outlets have
Vanilla.
reported that he did examine
I like
Trump
I
this
like
week after
Ronnie.
Trump
Ronnie's
was
an awesome
shot
guy,
at
but
the
like,
rally on
you know.
Saturday. Rhonda, let's talk about the significance of that speech right now.
Well, one of the things is when we've heard from Ronnie Jackson, usually he speaks
No
very
climax,
enthusiastically of the
man.
former president's
I hate
health.
it when
In fact,
there's
he
no
once
climax.
said that Trump has good genes
I like
and
a
could live
good climax.
200 years if he just eats right and takes care
Just
of
saying.
himself. But really, he's a part of this narrative about the strength of the former president. And we're seeing the opposite on the other side with President Biden and how there's so much focus on his age, his health, his mental fitness. So
You mean
Ronnie
he's
Jackson has
fucking
sort of
decrepit,
been a
you mean?
cheerleader for Trump's health. Of course, he, as James laid out, he has sort of rode the coattails of the Trump administration. He entered politics himself and is a Texas congressperson. One thing he didn't mention, unless I missed it, he was also President Obama's White House doctor.
He held that
You
job
ever
for
see
like
these
14
people
years.
tap
Sort of
dance, man?
really go
I've
into
never seen him
details
tap
about who
dance
he
like
worked
this.
with,
This is
right?
incredible.
But really, he has been a part of that narrative saying that Trump is more fit and is healthy, even though they're only separated by a few years.
Yeah,
Biden
yeah,
is.
but we don't. Yeah, they're separated by
Marianne,
just a
let's
few
talk about
years.
the big speaker of the night tonight, J.D. Vance. What are you anticipating tonight?
Well, right now we're anticipating J.D. Vance to really talk about his background. He's, of course, the author of Hillbilly Elegy.
What is she,
in which
12?
he talks about his experience growing up in working class environment, growing up in poverty
Fucking
with a family
seriously?
that was affected by drug addiction. Republican. And so we're
She's
expecting
12.
him to really lean into his personal biography and then talk about how his personal biography has informed his views and how it
The world is
aligns
being
with
run
the
by
America
12-year-olds.
First agenda that Trump has put out and how it's informed his views on issues like trade and inflation and fentanyl.
You know, he has
Stop.
a different perspective than the old guard of republicanism. I mean, he is isolationist.
Well.
He, you know, says that he's really for the working class in a way that comes across as really anti-business. The question, of course, is what will that mean in terms of policy? Do we really know what he's going to stand for in terms of what he tries to push forward?
It seems like with Senator Vance, he's very much going to emulate the policies that President Trump has put out there, and President Trump, of course, has been a more populist type Republican, and it seems like by selecting J.D. Vance as his vice presidential
breathing on me.
he's really moving the Republican Party into that more
Go away.
populist direction.
Stop breathing on me.
And I think that the Republican Party of 2012
away.
is likely going away, and already has in the last few years. So
We would be.
You know what I'm trying to get at is like anti-corporate, like in the sense of like fighting.
Is there
fighting
anybody
for
out
demand,
there?
Which is really what like unions and Democrats have been trying
Or
to
am I
espouse
just sitting
for a
here
long
like
time.
watching
So how do
the
you see
RNC
this,
all by myself?
being used in the campaign trail in the
Seriously.
coming weeks and months?
Is there anybody out
I
there?
think you could really see
Holy
Vance
shit.
trying to make an appeal to union workers. I mean,
Chet
we
just
saw
kinda,
that
like,
this week with the president
died.
of Teamsters
What the
speaking here
hell?
tonight. And I
What the
think
hell,
one thing
man?
that's also notable that we learned about as we were reporting about Vance in the Veep stakes process
She's
was
12.
the fact that you had a lot of more
Maybe
traditional
13.
establishment
What the
type
hell?
donors really opposing
But she's
him
hot at the
being,
parties.
President Trump's pick. And
You
so
know
I
what I'm
think we're
saying?
going to see a lot of talk about tariffs, a lot of talk about
She gets around real
big
good.
business. But I think there's really going to be a play for union workers, especially
Here.
in
Here.
those key states
Put
like
these
Michigan,
ponytails in your
Pennsylvania,
hair.
that the Trump campaign is really hoping to win over before November.
Yeah, James, what are you hearing from sort of pro-corporate big business leaders, Chamber of Commerce types? I mean, even Rupert Murdoch didn't want this pick. We think about sort of that upper echelon.
Fuck Rupert Murdoch.
The representation of
Fuck Rupert
Republican,
Murdoch.
corporate
Seriously.
being so connected together.
Wait, who gives a fuck? You like Rupert Murdoch? Well, then we don't like him.
To get out of it. But J.D. Vance had in his corner some rich people of his own, especially David Sachs, who we heard from on Monday night, who was roommates at Stanford with Peter Thiel, who was Vance's big benefactor. And Vance got Sachs to hold a fundraiser that raised $6 million for Trump in the Bay Area. And so that was able to counter some of Trump's concerns. One of the things Trump really wanted as he was looking at his VP was someone who could do confrontational media interviews. So his advisors booked him on all the Sunday shows and even MSNBC. And Trump was really impressed at how much he was willing to be a fighter, which is also what we're going to see from our next speaker.
Oh, such a great segue. We're going to see Matt Gaetz, congressman from Florida. He's getting a big reception here in the hall.
I like
Let's listen
J.D.
to what he
Vance.
has to say.
I like him a lot. I think it's a good fucking pick, dude. All right, let's watch Matt Gaetz. It's pretty exciting, right?
Donald Trump is unstoppable. Elect him president again, and America will be unstoppable too. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's been out of it. Democrats have been hiding the real Biden for years. We saw people in the witness protection program more often than we saw unscripted Biden. Under Biden-Harris, America has fallen sicker, lonelier, and poorer. Under Trump, we prospered, we were richer, inflation was low, and there were two genders. Under Biden-Harris, inflation has gotten so bad you can no longer bribe Democrat senators with cash alone.
He's trying to be too
You have
clever.
to use gold bars just so the bribes hold value. Oh,
Trying to be too
the
clever.
swamp draining will recommence soon, and I will be President Trump's strongest ally in Congress to pass term limits, to stop taxpayer funding for political campaigns, to ban members of Congress for life from becoming lobbyists, and for the same reason you don't let the referee bet on the game, ban members of Congress from trading individual stocks. I am proud to stand before you, the only Republican in Congress who takes no lobbyist money, no PAC money. It's not good for me. I work for you, not them. President Trump, he'll never defund our police, but he will defund foreign aid to countries that hate us. And President Trump understands that if it isn't racist to check ID for a hunting license or welfare benefits or a fishing license, then it is okay to demand an ID to vote everywhere in this country in every election that's held. A Democrat congressman recently said that any criticism of Joe Biden is ableist. I don't think it's too much to ask that the American president be able to do the job. Kamala Harris isn't able to do any job. She was appointed border czar. Appointing Kamala Harris to oversee the border is like appointing Bernie Madoff to oversee your retirement plan. President Trump has shown the world what he is made of, and now we will show the world what America is made of by having his back. And how about the choice President Trump made for a running mate? JD looks like a young Abraham Lincoln, but he's from Ohio, like General Grant. And like General Grant, JD Vance knows how to fight. So they can run Biden from the nursing home, Harris, George Clooney, Robert De Niro, whoever they want to run. We are on a mission to rescue and save this country, and we ride or die with Donald John Trump to the end. Thank you all so much. Thank you for having my back. Let's go get him.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida. Rhonda, takeaways from that one.
Well, also, I do want to point out that earlier today there was this exchange where Gaetz, who, if you remember, he was the first person to use the motion to vacate to oust former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, who was also on the floor, and Gaetz sort of did a dig with him and said, "Oh, are you on the list to speak tonight?"
When are you speaking, Kevin?
Yeah, it was brutal. Yeah,
yeah, which almost seemed like it might have been planned because there was a news camera there, but it was caught on tape. But I'm also listening to Gaetz's speech and others who are planning to talk tonight, who are members of Congress, and you see sort of the growing pains in the GOP, the identity crisis a little bit, because just even walking around, you're seeing some people from the old guard of the RNC and the GOP, and then you're seeing people like Matt Gaetz, who might have a future in this type of Republican Party. You're sort of seeing all shades of Republicans right now, and I think it's an interesting moment. This is not like past conventions that we've covered, RNC conventions, and we are seeing sort of just this grab bag when it comes to the speakers. And you're also seeing the enthusiasm that these GOP personalities have right now. He got a really warm welcome.
Yeah.
So people are really enjoying those personalities that they're seeing in congressional hearings and on cable news. It's, it is a time in the RNC right now.
It's what gets rewarded in this environment.
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy isn't getting a speaking slot. Kevin McCarthy was ousted as speaker because of Matt Gaetz and Nancy Mace, who spoke earlier this evening. And
Can I just mention, I saw Speaker McCarthy yesterday. I think that video went around yesterday, and I asked him, we still call him Speaker out of respect, but yeah, former House Speaker McCarthy, I said, were you invited to speak? And he, oh, no, I've done it like 4 times before. I wouldn't have wanted to come to that party even if I gotten an invite. But it is just, usually you'd have sort of past standard bearers as part of this, right? As part of showing like that big tent inclusivity, but that is not the case here, James.
Romney's not here,
No.
Liz Cheney's not here, Susan Collins
the former
isn't here.
president of the United States, George W. Bush, is not here. There are all these Republicans who are not even thinking about the fact that they're not here tonight, but they're not here.
The point I want to make about Matt Gaetz is that in a normal pre-Trump time, he would not have been allowed to speak. He's under active investigation by the House Ethics Committee for having sexual relations with minors, and
was under federal investigation before that.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
It's been resolved. Yeah, but so it's sort of striking because he has this exposure, and I should say he vehemently denies those allegations. Kevin McCarthy, after Gaetz said that, later said, Gaetz should be in jail. It was also striking because during that exchange, there was an Illinois delegate who went up to Gaetz and started yelling, "You're used a profanity," and and then they kind of got into it. So I think that there is, I don't want to make it sound like everyone here is some Matt Gaetz acolyte. He clearly is very popular. He's, he has a big following, but I do think he sort of represents sort of the MAGA id of the House Republican Conference.
I think it's also interesting, for example, the Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell also does not have a speaking slot, despite being the top Republican.
And we saw him booed the other day.
Yeah, and he was also booed. So I think it's just again, another image of just the transition of the Republican Party to really the party of Trump in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Marianne, what does Donald Trump do with this momentum out of this? Because, okay, he's got people who support him on board, obviously, right? Especially after sort of the fear and absolute appalling nature of Saturday's attempted attack on him. Now he's chosen a vice presidential running mate, though, who's like him in his own image, right? He's like the new generation of MAGA. So how do they take this on the road and try to convince other Americans that this is a team that would be worth their vote?
I mean, I think it's been interesting to hear how some of the speakers have talked about Donald Trump in the last few days. I mean, one statement that struck out to me when I was listening to Laura Trump's speech, for example, was the fact that she said, hey, you don't have to like the tweets, but was your life better before President Biden came into office? And we're kind of seeing that message as well with people like Nikki Haley. And so I think that the way the campaign goes about this is messaging that to the people who are a little bit more skeptical of Trump and who maybe voted for Nikki Haley in the primary. But I think there is a question of who will Vance actually bring in as the vice presidential pick. Is it a sign of confidence that they feel like they've got this in November, that they picked Vance? So I think we'll just have to see. But the campaign's really emphasizing that they want unity right now. We'll have to see how the speech turns out tomorrow. So I think that we'll have to, I think it's one of those moments where there's a lot of talk about unity, but will that actually be the case tomorrow? And how much does Trump talk about Biden and attack Biden, and what do those attacks look like? So,
how much does the speech matter? I mean, obviously tonight J.D. Vance has a chance to define himself, right? To lay out the message as well as introduce himself. But why are we so focused on the words Trump says tomorrow night, the tone Trump set tomorrow night? Because there have been so many times where people say, oh, Trump's now finally acting presidential. Oh, this is a moment of a pivot or a change. Why are we watching tomorrow night so closely?
I think there's the question of whether Saturday's attempted assassination really did change him. There's this question, and people who've talked to him have said that he has felt spiritual after Saturday. And I think also a lot of the unifying message that we're seeing among the Republicans, or at least the image of unity that they'd like to project here, it comes from the fact that you had a near absolute tragedy on Saturday. So I think that is reason to keep an open mind and to see, did something as traumatic as an attempted assassination affect how he talks to the American people? Does he have more sympathy from voters? And do they see a more human side to him in a way that's different than perhaps the Donald Trump they've seen of the last 8 years?
Let's go to Jorge Ribas. He's outside the Pfizer Forum right now. Jorge, in just a moment, we're going to hear from former Trump White House advisor Peter Navarro. He was released from prison this morning and has made his way to Milwaukee to talk here. Jorge, talk to us about how he wound up in jail and how people are feeling about him being here today.
Right, Libby. So he wound up in jail for contempt of Congress for not cooperating with a subpoena for the congressional investigation on January 6th. And he was in jail for 4 months. He's getting out and coming right to here. Now, January 6th is definitely something that you have not heard anything about while we've been here at the RNC. And so I asked a few delegates. I was walking around today and asked them about Navarro. And everyone I talked to a Virginia delegate, and he mentioned to me how he was actually excited to hear from Peter Navarro, mostly because he wanted to hear about his trade policies. He didn't want Navarro to talk too much about January 6th. He told me, the delegate told me that he thought the investigation had been too partisan, it had been too one-sided with the Democrats, that it wasn't fair to Navarro. I asked him, about the January 6th defendants. He just really did not want that to come up at the RNC. He didn't think that Peter Navarro needed to talk about it. I spoke to another delegate right outside the forum and from Texas, and she mentioned to me, she said things like, that I've heard a lot, and I covered January 6th. I was there, so I've heard a lot of these conspiracies coming out of it, that it was not Republicans that were involved in it, that it was Antifa. That's sort of stuff that she echoed to me, that there had been bad actors, that she thought that Donald Trump should pardon the defendants that had been arrested because they hadn't done anything wrong. I talked to another delegate, though, who offered a more reasonable take on that, where he told me that he thought that Trump should pardon some of the defendants that had not been involved in the violent crimes, the people that had not assaulted police officers, but that he thought that the people that had done that stuff should, stay in prison and serve their term. But really, this was not something that the delegates that I talked to really thought anyone was going to talk about, that they didn't want Peter Navarro. They were happy that he was here. They were happy to see him come and be able to get to the RNC. They didn't think that he should dwell on the past, that he should talk about trade and about things that could help the administration in the future, but not dwell on what happened in the last election, and definitely not talk about January 6th. Libby.
All right, thank you so much, Jorge. I mean, what a fascinating turn of events that Peter Navarro is speaking here tonight. Marianne, how closely is he still tied to Trump world?
I think he's still pretty closely tied to Trump. I mean, Trump doesn't talk about him, on the campaign trail, but I think he definitely still has very strong ties to Trump world. So it'll be interesting to see what he has to say tonight.
Yeah, and he's not going to say I wouldn't talk about January 6th. He's not going to talk about January 6th. I do think maybe there will be some election denialism. I think he's going to frame it as he was persecuted, he was railroaded. He's going to say it was the Biden Justice Department, even though it was a lawful subpoena from the House that he didn't comply with. And I think that's the way he's going to frame it, as persecution.
Let's go hear it right now. We'll talk about it on the back end, but a reminder, this is
Boys,
Peter Navarro,
covering the RNC,
who just got out of jail today.
If you're out there, give me a shout in the chat. Say hi. I'm bored. Right? Sitting here pulling my pun. Pretty much. It's going to be an exciting evening tonight at the RNC. Funsy. Much funsy. Navarro, very exciting, right? Fucking Peter Navarro just got out of prison.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice, guys. Just got out of the jail cell. Oh man, listen to this applause. Listen to this.
This is a beautiful thing.
This is awesome.
I think you folks just want to know if you can see my MAGA tattoo I got there.
Got himself a prison
Yes,
tat.
indeed. This morning I did walk out of a federal prison in Miami. Joe Biden and his Department of Injustice put me there. Tonight I'm here with you in this beautiful city of Milwaukee. I've got a very simple message for you. If they can come for me, and if they can come for Donald Trump, be careful, they will come for you. If we don't control our government, their government will control us.
That's right. Preach.
If we don't control all three branches of our government, legislative, executive, and judicial, their government will put some of us, like me and Steve Bannon, in prison and control the rest of us. Here's how it went. Here's how I got in prison. The legislative branch came for me first. Your favorite Democrat, Nancy Pelosi, created your favorite committee, the sham January 6th committee.
Oh, get raw
which
tonight.
demanded that I violate executive privilege. What did I do? I refused.
That's right. Fuck you.
The
And
J6
fuck you
committee
too.
demanded that I betray Donald John Trump to save my own skin. I refused. Here's the thing about the Constitution. They demanded that I break the law.
Oh, bring it.
Because they have no respect for it.
Right.
I refused. And a Democrat majority in the House then voted to hold me in contempt. All right, what happened next? The next jackboot to drop was the executive branch. Another one of your favorite Democrats, Democrat Attorney General Merrick Garland.
Oh.
There's a winner. Him and Jack Smith indicted and prosecuted me for criminal contempt of Congress. Now, here's what's weird about it. It's something that Democrat prosecutors refused to do against one of their own, including two guys with blood on their hands, Eric Holder and Alejandro Mayorkas, the great border czar, right?
Wow.
They've actually gotten people killed. For decades, the Department of Injustice right now, the Department of Justice policy stated, hear me out on this, if Congress slaps a subpoena on a senior White House advisor like me, the advisor's duty is to politely tell them to go pound sand. That's exactly what I did. So far we got two branches, legislative and executive. The judicial branch delivered the final blow. Just as, here's another favorite of yours, just as Democrat Judge Juan Marchand, you know this guy? Did to Donald John Trump in his Manhattan
This is Peter Navarro. He
Kangaroo
just got out of prison.
Another Democrat
today.
judge, a guy named Ahmed Maida. Keep your eye on this guy. Ahmed Maida, Obama appointee. They stripped me of every possible defense. And then what? Just like in Manhattan with Donald Trump, they threw me to the wolves of an anti-Trump jury. And where? The D.C. swamp. They convicted me. They jailed me. Guess what? They did not break me.
Nice. Oh.
And they will never break Donald Trump. They will never break Donald Trump. All right, now here's the most important thing I'm going to tell you. You may be thinking this couldn't happen to you. Make no mistake, they're already coming for you. Joe and Kamala, they threw out the woke blue carpet across the Rio Grande, opened our borders to what? Murderers and rapists. When Donald Trump said it, thank you for saying that. When Donald Trump said murderers, rapists in 2016, they go, oh, racist, whatever. We read the papers. It's murderers and rapists.
Yes.
Murderers and rapists, drug cartels, human traffickers, terrorists, Chinese spies, and a whole army of illiterate, illegal aliens stealing the jobs of black, brown, and blue-collar Americans. They put them right on your front doorstep. Now, here's another thing Joe Biden did. You got to love
this is pretty raw.
The green new scam. We're in the heart here in Milwaukee, around all this. This is where the auto industry, that new scam is destroying our industry, leaving us at the mercy of the battery factories in Shanghai and slave labor in the Congo. Biden inflation. You're going to hear a lot of this because it's so friggin' true. Biden inflation is coming after what's left of your savings and eating your wages. And the Democrats, here's the thing. I'm sitting in prison thinking about this. eats at me is the Democrats come for your kids. They're indoctrinating them with poisonous attitudes on race and gender. And here's the thing, when politics fails, the investigations and prosecutions begin. They did it to me. They're going to do it to Trump. But hear me out. They've also done it to Catholics, pro-life activists, and parents who are just standing up for the kids at school board meetings. This is a tale of two Americas, and you know it wasn't this way when Donald Trump was president. I remember the days I was there. In Trump's America, you were safe and our borders were secure. In Trump's America, you were more prosperous, and you didn't have to choose between what? Food on the table, medicine in the cabinet, and a roof over your head. And in Trump's America, you didn't have to worry about being locked up for disagreeing with the government.
Yes.
I went to prison so you won't have to.
Hey, Hotep.
I am your wake-up call.
There you go. This is a great speech. Just got out of prison, man. Fresh out. Fresh out.
All right, this is where I'm going to have fun now, because I'm going to leave you now with the last three words. The last three words my beautiful fiance said when I left that morning.
I don't know, man. He was pretty hood.
They weren't, I love you. That was a given. She simply said, we got this.
Yeah. We got this. Yeah, baby. We got this, honey. Got this. That's the American spirit, man. That's the Donald Trump spirit. Fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Oh, what a great convention this is.
Bring my girl out now. That's what these lawfare jackals don't understand.
Yeah.
When they put people like me in prison and fire figurative and now literal bullets at Donald Trump.
Check her out.
They also
That's his daughter.
assault our families.
Yes. Is that his wife or?
On Election Day, America will hold these lawfare jackals accountable.
That's his wife.
Now, here's the sweetest thing that's going to come off my lips. Vote Trump Vance. 24 for Trump 47. I'm Peter Navarro.
I
went
love
to prison,
Peter Navarro.
So you won't have to. This is my beautiful girl. She did the time with me. That's what these friggin' Democrats don't understand. They do this to our families.
Yeah!
She's my girl.
Yeah!
I love you. Let's win. Do not let up. Do not let up.
Yeah!
Pedal to the metal till November.
Peter Navarro getting the biggest reception of anybody tonight on
That was
stage
awesome,
with his
man.
fiance. He just got out of prison this morning, which accounts for some of the reason why they're so emotional up there. A reminder that he did not go to prison for the people in this room. He went to prison because he refused to comply with
Shut
the subpoena
up, you dumb
for the January
cunt.
6th Select Committee, and he's the
Stop.
first former White House aide ever imprisoned for contempt of a congressional subpoena. Let's go to Rich Matthews to tell us more
Shut
about
up.
how
You're
Peter
such a
Navarro was received in this
douchebag.
room, Rich.
My God.
Well, Libby,
She's like the negative Nancy of the crew.
Try to correct you,
I just
but
want to
would
remind
say
everybody
that's
that,
the
you know,
loudest
I'm a cunt.
reception, the largest reception that anyone has received this whole week. It was a long-standing ovation, and as you mentioned, understandably emotional in the room. I'll even say that Carrie Lake was doing an interview with another broadcaster just down the way from us.
Right.
It
She's a
wrapped
Karen.
right
I'm
before he
sorry.
came, but she stopped and stood right here and watched the entire
I'm sorry,
speech.
honey.
and clapped along with the audience at important points. There have been a lot of moments in this convention, including, when Donald Trump made his first appearance after being shot, that brought the House down. But this was certainly something.
This is
that
the
was
Washington
surreal,
Post we're
seeing
watching.
Someone who got out of prison this morning.
I kind of like to
appearing
watch
on
the left,
stage
right,
of a
like these days.
national
It's more fun.
Convention.
Don't you
Libby?
think? I think it's more fun.
Thanks so much, Rich. J.M. Rieger, let's go to you for more. J.M.?
Yeah, Libby, I mean, what was remarkable about that speech is we've been hearing for the past few days from Republicans about how they want to soften the tone. They want to kind of unify the party, but they want to unify
So we want to turn down the
country.
temperature?
And we spoke last night during the broadcast how there were some examples throughout yesterday evening's broadcast of the tone and the rhetoric really getting heated. That notion kind of being thrown out the window. I think you can entirely toss it up.
So it's Donald Trump's fault that he got shot?
Navarro.
Is that what you're saying?
That he said that they're already coming for you, referring to the government, referring to Democrats, referred to the Manhattan court as a,
So it's
quote,
really
kangaroo
us that
court.
have the divisive.
Said that Eric Holder and Alejandro Mayorkas have, quote, blood on their hands. Said he went to prison so you don't have to, as you mentioned, Libby, referring to people in the audience. Referred to Democrats as jackals. This is not the sort of unifying, tone-softening rhetoric that Republicans were saying this
Gee
week was going to bring the
willikers, you've just been
country
waiting
needed
for
after
this,
that
haven't you,
assassination attempt on
chucklehead?
Former President Trump just 4 days ago. So a really remarkable turn here, and especially after the final few speakers last night tried to soften that tone a little bit, especially what we heard from Laura Trump.
Kind of
at the end
Hitlerian, isn't
We'll
it?
see if this
Go ahead,
plays out,
say
but
it.
Probably the fieriest speech.
Yeah,
speech
you know,
with the most
gosh,
fire
gee
so far
willikers,
right
you know,
there
you
from Peter
just
Navarro.
came out of prison, you dickhead.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Fuck you.
You're watching live coverage
Fuck
of the
you.
Washington Post. I'm Libby Casey, and I'm with Rhonda Colvin.
Hi, Libby
James Sullivan,
Casey.
and Marianne
Hey, how are
Levine.
you?
And
Gosh,
Marianne, we were
it's so
talking
good to see
earlier
you.
about why tone is important.
And
Why are
tone
we
is
watching Donald
important,
Trump's
you know,
speech so
why
closely
tone is
tomorrow to
important.
listen for not just the content, but also the tone. But when you hear something like this, it reminds us why tone
It
does
reminds
matter.
us of like
Yeah, and I
Hitler.
think one thing that really stuck
Oh,
out
God,
to me
she's
in
a
hearing
mouse.
Peter Navarro is how much he's echoed Donald Trump's message of that the system is working against them, that Democrats are going after Republicans and using the Justice Department and using local prosecutors. And to be clear, there's no evidence that there's coordination between the Biden administration and the Justice Department or with local law enforcement.
She sounds like
in
that.
these cases. But it is
Oh,
a
totally.
message
Look
that
at her.
Trump has
She's
really
like
put
so
out there,
totally
being
small and
persecuted. And I
oriental.
think, one thing that'll be really interesting
And she
tomorrow
sounds small
will
and
be to see
oriental.
How much does he portray himself
Like she's like
as
Hernandez,
as a
but-
martyr? I mean,
but except she's on the
of course,
left.
the attempted assassination does in some ways make Trump even more of a potential martyr to his base and to a lot of voters. And so does he use that message to unite the country, or does he use it to continue to blame Democrats for a lot of these legal cases he's facing? I think we don't know yet, but I think that's one thing I'm looking
No,
out
there
for
aren't.
after,
At least not
hearing
any
Peter
alpha
Navarro
males.
and
Holy
his
shit.
speech.
Trump has had such a lucky streak of legal news. though,
Totally
Rhonda,
lucky.
from getting
Totally
the classified
lucky.
documents case tossed
Wow,
out
how
and then
lucky.
make it appealed because her justification is sort of hanging by a thread. But even his sentencing
Totally
for the New York
lucky.
case in which he was convicted has been postponed, and there's so many questions just about how Jack Smith could proceed. The special counsel could proceed with the January 6th
Yeah.
case in light
That's
of the
kind of a
Supreme
bitch,
Court
isn't it?
ruling that
Yeah.
Donald Trump has
When the-
absolute immunity for acts taken in the office of the
Yeah,
president.
I
So
know,
how does
right?
that change sort of that rhetoric around the law and the lawfare?
Well, to the people in this arena and those who are supportive of the former president, this just adds to that sense that they feel that the justice system has been weaponized. We hear that.
That's
on the Hill.
right.
We've heard it just from Navarro.
That's right,
That's
honey.
a consistent theme, and they feel like
Yes.
they have evidence because of all the things you listed. The
Mhm.
New York
Right.
case not having the sentencing and postponing it until September, if that even happens. The classified documents case.
Not much
earlier
of
this week,
one,
we were
dude.
covering that, and
Not
how
much
that
of one,
is
Jose.
definitely on ice if that ever comes up again. So that just adds to sort of the rhetoric and the beliefs.
See,
from
now
a lot
I
of
like the
people
I
that
like the black
he's been
lady.
targeted,
She's
and now
probably
you see
like the
evidence
most
because
with
none
it
of this
on the
came to
panel.
fruition. I do want to add one.
So I'm not racist. See, there you go. I'm not racist.
All of those meetings.
Fucking told you.
And followed the path of putting out those subpoenas to
Seriously.
the people that they charged with contempt of Congress. So he faced 2 charges, went to prison for that. He also tried to get that case overturned by Chief Justice Roberts, and Roberts agreed that the lower courts had ruled appropriately and that Navarro should be in prison.
They're losing their minds, aren't they? Like, totally.
Speech. But again, it's also about what people even know. I almost wonder if people.
You remember when Donald Trump said, "You're gonna win so much, you're gonna be tired of winning." Remember when he said that? Remember, you're gonna be so tired of winning, you're gonna win so much. Okay, are you done winning yet? No. This is delicious. Fava beans. Where are the fava beans?
Not mentioned John Roberts, but he mentioned a lot of people by name. Alejandro Mayorkas, Eric Holder.
Oh, my God.
Marianne noted, but also Jack Smith, who got loud boos, Merrick Garland, Juan Merchan, the judge. And,
yeah, that's a guy, see?
I mean, it is
but, you know,
at odds with the tone. But
he looked pretty cute in a
He
skirt.
said that a lot of other speakers have said is
they don't even shave. You don't have to shave off the facial hair these days. You just put on a lot of eye makeup. It'll distract from your chin hair.
The White House.
It's cool. Fine. It's fine.
A bunch of cases last night. The would-be assassin, which is sort of absurd, but trying to group them all together and say they're trying to do this to Trump. They tried to stop him. They tried to sue him. And
the would-be assassin. So it really wasn't somebody trying to stop Trump from being president. Okay.
Our government.
It was just a kookaburra
There's government
living in the kookaburra tree.
That doesn't sound like unity.
Karen, thank you, Karen. Thank you.
Thank you. Behind me, or is unity like everyone welcome in? We can all share perspective together, right?
Perspective sharing. It's so awesome. Yeah.
It feels like when we talk about unity
How many
right
cats
now,
do you
a lot
have?
of it is unity of the Republican Party, and I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
obviously what
yeah,
Republicans are saying right now, yes, we want it. This is a message to unite all Americans and to vote for Trump. But I think that
What is she, like,
But I think Republicans are really
12?
leaning into the message that they are united right now, especially given what's going on the other side.
13, maybe?
Biden
What
should be
the
the nominee. So I
fuck
think
is that
the
woman
question
doing on that
unity,
panel?
I think to ask is unity among who? I mean, it seems like Republicans are very united right now, in contrast to the Democrats. But does that mean that everyone is united as a country? Speeches like Peter Navarro's don't quite send that message. So,
if I could add,
Dude, what they're saying about this assassination attempt is incredible.
And what happened was
just
Jared Kushner
nuts.
actually he searched on Amazon for like books about China and trade. Peter Navarro was a Democrat who had run for Congress unsuccessfully in San Diego and had almost won.
Oh, you hate Peter Navarro too? Wow. What a
He's
surprise.
like a protectionist and anti-trade with China, and that's how Navarro
Is
first
there
gets into
anything
Trump's
these
orbit
fucking
and then ends up
people
being
like
disloyal,
about
so he's trying to
anything
concoct all these
on the
schemes
Republican side ever
stay in
at
power
all?
after they lost the
Like
2020
ever?
election. So it is
No.
reflective of kind of
No.
the
We
universe
love
is
grandmas.
not someone who came
They're
up
just saying they love fucking grandmas because, they really want to throw your fucking grandma off the
And there's a
fucking
reason why
cliff.
the January
They're just
6th
lying.
wanted to talk to
And
him.
you know what?
And
That's
Steve
the way it
Bannon,
is.
right? They
Because
held
that's the way
vital
Republicans are. They're
information
evil.
that could shed light on
Fucking
Trump's state of
vil.
mind, the TikTok of what happened behind closed doors and things like that. So.
Yeah, and he actually wrote in his book about the Green Bay sweep, which was a part of sort of the architecture of the fake elector scheme in Wisconsin and other places. He wrote about that. The January 6th committee wanted him to testify, give a deposition, as well as turn over documents, and those are the reasons that he was charged with contempt.
Well, let's bring JM Rieger into the conversation. JM is reporting for us back in Washington to talk more about this. JM.
Yeah, Libby, James was just talking.
January 6th. January 6th. January 6th. January 6th.
In that speech from Peter Navarro.
January
It's also been a
6th.
theme that we've heard from other speakers.
Remember
when they
January
talk about
6th?
Donald
Remember?
Trump and how
Remember?
they
Remember?
are going
Remember,
after him,
Barres?
they being an other
You need to have some of
phrase
them
there.
January
And
6th.
there's also
Remember,
been sort of
Barres?
an othering component
Yeah.
to how
Remember?
we've heard my
Remember?
referred to throughout the first 3 nights so far.
Blah, blah,
of this
blah,
convention.
blah,
I
blah.
also think, you juxtapose what Navarro was saying in that speech with what we heard from Sarah Huckabee Sanders last night
Right.
and from Laura
Triangulate,
Trump last night.
dude.
Two
He's so
women who tried to
brilliant.
sort of put a human face, if you will, on the former president, talking about private conversations that they had with him, talking about what he's like in his personal life, with his kids, with his family, sort of trying to paint a different picture than
the
public
evil
figure
bastard he
that
really, we all know he
are
is.
familiar with, that many Americans are familiar with. And, you know, one Republican strategist yesterday sort of called this, you know, this variety of speakers, this variety of tone that we're hearing, sort of the Baskin-Robbins variety of speakers, right? It's choose your flavor at the convention. And, you know, if you want to listen to kind of Laura Trump's message, you know, it puts a softer tone on to Trump. And if you want to listen to Navarro, that's really kind of a base play speech. But I think the fact that we're hearing this kind of draconian language thrown in about migrants, thrown in about the government, thrown in about
he
Biden
just got
himself,
out
thrown
of
in about
jail.
Democrats is
Remember
really
who
notable.
just
And as I
got
mentioned
out of
earlier,
jail?
just a moment ago, I really
Peter
think we've moved
Navarro.
beyond this notion that the tone is softened at all 4 days after that assassination attempt. It feels like we've fully moved on from that moment.
I'm not sure he understands how to
We're back
masturbate
to the
correctly.
rhetoric of calling migrants murderers and rapists, and unapologetically.
Oh, I mean, migrants, murderers, and rapists. I'm going to go back to the original lie. I'm so
This is one of
stupid.
the things that Trump was criticized right off the bat, and Republicans criticized him right off the bat when he announced his candidacy in 2015. Many folks will remember that kind of coming down the escalator speech, referring to migrants as rapists, as murderers.
Oh, you
Some are good people
fucker.
in Trump's
Fuck
words at the
you.
time.
Fuck you,
That is
liar.
Still, the fact that they're still talking
Migrants
about
are murderers and
migrants
rapists.
that way,
Same shit. Same
sort of
fucking
where
lie.
At least they think the base
I
of the
hate these
party is. They
fuckers.
being these Republican politicians speaking at the convention.
They're
the
all
fact that
so
they're talking about it in such a way. We know that
xenophobic.
immigration is a good issue for Republicans based on polling that we have. So it's not surprising to hear them criticize the Biden administration over its immigration policies.
You know,
and over
I'm
the
sorry,
southern border.
but you know what?
And this has
Everybody knows that the fucking people coming across the border, most of them are murderers and rapists, and that Donald Trump was prophetic. Okay, and he never said what they smeared him with his whole life.
Is a far cry from
He said,
sort of other
"I'm sure some of them are fucking fine people."
if you will, of
But they lie. They lie.
who are coming into the country. It's a dramatic shift, and the fact also, by the way, that we're still talking about it when we have these kind of themes of each night. You know,
It's
the wealthy, the
pathetic.
safety,
Hotep.
the security.
Pathetic.
We expect to hear more about, as Rich was previewing earlier, kind of international affairs tonight. But we're still talking about immigration. Shows how much Republicans think that this is a winning issue.
It's
for them
like
in
I have to watch this stuff. You don't understand how hard we work for you
It is a terrifying portrait of America.
to listen to
if
this
you
shit
Lean into the sort of the scariest tones, right?
and not like punch my
and
computer screen.
Fear is mobilizing. Fear is activating. One of the
Fear
videos they've
and
been playing
fear.
this week sort of makes Donald Trump seem like Batman. It's like this sort of cityscape, and they show up a big light, and then it beams up to Trump. So
What the fuck is she even
talk to us
talking
more
about right now?
that and how that plays into this moment right after Trump was
She's not really even saying anything. That's the
part
crazy
of an
thing.
assassination attempt, and we're trying to hear this like softer tone, the humanizing, and yet there's that parallel.
You know what? It's
pushback
like
that
3 days since they fucking tried to kill him, and they're like, this just humanizes him, and that's just bullshit.
Elevated it based on fear, that you want someone strong to respond.
I
to
mean,
this scary
fucking
time.
A.
It's what we saw in
They're just like,
2016.
you know what? The
You know,
whole
with
thing
the,
that they tried to kill him was just like a little
it's a very
hiccup.
explicit comparison of Trump to Batman.
It's
We've
crazy.
seen with so many of the speakers them calling this providential. Sarah Huckabee Sanders last night said, "God is not done with Donald Trump."
I
You're
feel like
seeing
I'm living
speaker
in
after
a
speaker
fucking
say that,
weird
that
ass,
God had Trump
upside
turn
down,
his head.
bizarre
So
world,
it
and
is
I'm
this cult
trapped.
of
I
personality.
can't
The
get
party is
out.
built around Trump.
There's
It's
nothing
not,
I can do.
It's not built on ideas or ideology. It's built on basically stopping change. I mean, I think it is a conservative party in that sense, which is like,
yes, we don't want any more fucking change. We've had it up to our fucking ass with change. So much fucking hope and change, I can't stand it. We're done. Too much change.
And we'll see how
yes,
fits into that.
turn the fucking clock back.
Also, what are the actual
Deport all
goals?
these
We wanna bring more
motherfuckers.
Avery
I don't like
Vaughn,
machetes in the streets. Sorry, it's change I don't like.
all around today, and right now he's on the
Oh
main
man,
concourse
these
of the
people are
Spicer
so
Forum
annoying.
here at one of the many merch stores at the convention. Jorge, talk to us about what they're selling. We always see a lot of Republican merchandise, nominee merchandise at these conventions. What are you seeing here?
What are you seeing here? What kind of useless information are you going to fucking provide us tonight, Bob?
Center, just like down a block from the Pfizer.
Faggy
and
Bob.
one of the big merch stands here. And what's interesting is I've covered a lot of Trump rallies over the years, and there's always merch for sale outside of his rallies. And this RNC feels, just based on all of the stuff you see, it's very much Trump's party, obviously, right? But the merch stands is just selling Trump stuff. You might see a few pictures of Ronald Reagan.
This might be
like that, but it's all
funny.
Trump. So here you see, for example,
It's all
the
Trump
golden
shit.
Trump shoes.
It's all Trump
Behind
stuff,
me are
man.
a few T-shirts, and this kind of
Any
plays into
Biden
some of the
stuff?
messaging we've been hearing.
Where's
right?
the Biden stuff?
I talked to some of the vendors here who said that these shirts have been very popular. These "I'm voting for a felon."
I'm voting for a felon.
There's one T-shirt here that's
very popular.
Orange jumpsuit color here. That's really leaned in hard. Behind me, you also see the
This is
mugshots here. Now, when
funny.
I covered one of his rallies in South Carolina last fall. This was right after the mugshot came out.
Oh,
You
this
saw
is
that mugshot
great.
T-shirt all over every merch store. You saw people buying tons of them. This became like the new thing that people were buying to wear in support of the former president. But one of the new things that we've talked to is the photo that has come out is from Saturday's shooting and how this has become another sort of rallying cry for the party for people here. So if you walk with me over here, you see in the distance this fight shirt and the photo from that event.
That's
from
right,
the shooting,
baby.
He stands up
Fight,
and raises
fight,
his
fight,
fist.
fight.
The vendors told me that they actually had ordered these shirts. They hadn't come in. People were asking for that. I saw a few people buying them today, talking to me about why. One woman told me that she was buying it for her grandson, who specifically asked for that shirt. Another woman bought it, said the imagery of him fighting, of him yelling that, spoke to her, and it's why she wanted to buy that shirt. But this really shows just how this party is fully Trump. Inside there is Trump Bibles for sale, the hats, obviously, that he's been selling. And what's different is from when I covered the RNC convention in 2016 in Cleveland, you saw Trump gear and merch for sale, but it wasn't fully this. You saw a lot of other Republican merchandise, a lot of emphasis on, the elephant.
Trump
and GOP,
is the force to be
really not seeing
reckoned
a lot
with,
of that out here. You're
douche.
seeing this is very much Trump's party, and just by seeing
It
all
is
of the stuff
Trump's
here for sale,
party.
you can see that. Libby?
Yes.
Thank
Got
you so
that
much,
straight.
Jorge. That fight really goes down in history.
It does. Yeah,
and
it
we saw
sure
the crowd
does.
chanting at Peter
Wow.
Navarro just
Dumb
a few minutes
bitch.
ago.
Yeah, it's sort of, now become a rallying cry. I don't think it will go
Wow,
away. It's so much
imagine
about
that.
Trump, really,
Wow.
since he's entered the political scene.
Wow,
It has
that's
been something that people
amazing.
have
God, I
gravitated
can't
to.
believe
Look at
that.
the mugshots. When
Gee
his mugshot
whiz.
was released, those were sold as, T-shirts and hot off the presses.
Yeah,
People wanted
yeah.
that. So
Imagine
it is
that.
about
And this is the same
personality that
thing.
people
Wow.
people, and I know you both have experienced this, when you talk to Trump supporters and you ask them, about specific policies, many will tell you some things that they're concerned about. But a lot of people just say, oh, I just love him. I just love him. And it shows you that he has built this party around personality, and even down to the down ballot contenders as well, as if they are people
Yes.
who are like a Matt Gaetz. We talked about him earlier. People who
Just waking up to
known
this
on cable TV.
cult
People
of
are
personality? Are you just
whether or
figuring
not
this
a
shit
person
out?
Has a lot of policy to talk about.
Wow.
I'm going to say right now,
You're not very smart, are you?
They've been
None
hearing
of them
from
are.
folks who live on the border, and this is the chant right now.
That's
In a few
right.
moments,
Build
we'll
a
hear from
fucking
Greg
wall,
Abbott, who's the
bitch.
Governor of Texas.
You don't like it, do you?
Listening to this speech, it's this couple that lives on the border, and
All these people's
a lot of
sphincters
migrants
are
come through their
so
property.
tight right
They're
now.
Talking about how it's an invasion. They repeatedly use the term invasion.
Oh, they just loathing this.
Rhonda, when people kind of say, what do you like about Trump? I think it's that he is a fight. That it's build the wall has always.
They hate him so bad.
For fighting change, resisting demographic change. trying to
resisting demographic
cling onto something.
You mean
Keep
like
outsiders
not
out. Keep
having
outsiders out.
Yeah.
And big picture here, that's what possibly makes it so hard for the Democratic Party to run against a candidate like Donald Trump. When they are presenting policy and saying, we've done this, we've done that, when they're kind of like seeming like the kids that did the homework, but yet they are running up against a candidate who, just because of personality, just because of the way he's been able to brand the party, he has followers. That's hard to beat. That's hard to talk about policy.
When Peter Navarro was talking, he said the border surge has allowed black.
Let's pick that up after we hear from Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
Dos Equis. Dos.
Thank y'all very much.
Oh, it's Governor Abbott.
Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much.
I heard that.
Come on, let's go. As governor.
Did you know that a tree just fell on this guy in Tennessee at college? That's how he got in a wheelchair. The tree just fucking fell on him.
I can tell you.
Act of God.
I can tell you. America needs a president who will secure our border.
Yes. Good message.
America needs Donald J. Trump. The president's most sacred duty is to secure our country. Donald Trump fulfilled that duty by eliminating illegal immigration. Under President Trump,
way, really?
Illegal border crossings.
Cool.
In about 4 decades. By contrast, however, Joe Biden
Does he like Star Trek The Next Generation?
On his first day in office, he gutted President Trump's policies. And the result has been catastrophic. Under Joe Biden, illegal immigration has skyrocketed. Under his watch, around 11 million immigrants have crossed our border illegally.
Boo.
That's more than the entire population of Michigan. It's twice the population of Wisconsin.
Is Magneto going to crash the party soon?
Into our country,
You're playing with me now, aren't you?
Rapists, murderers, even terrorists. And the
I hate
price
you.
that we have paid has been deadly. Among the many
Thought you were
victims
serious.
was 12-year-old Jocelyn from Houston, Texas, raped and murdered by 2 illegal immigrants.
Murder.
She's one of thousands whose lives have been destroyed by Joe Biden's
You know Vincent Price is?
policies.
Murder.
To make matters even worse, Biden is even fighting tooth and nail to stop Texas and other Republican states from securing our own borders. I deployed thousands of National Guard soldiers to build hundreds of miles of razor wire barriers.
Fuck yes.
Give it up for our National Guard.
I want that border sealed tight, like a virgin asshole. You understand?
Those barriers to stop illegal
That's what I
crossings.
want.
When Joe Biden ordered to cut that
Let's be
razor
real with
wire,
each other.
I ordered the National Guard to triple the razor wire on the border. When Biden took 50 acres of Texas border property to illegally process up to 5,000 illegal immigrants a day, I directed the Texas National Guard to take back our land and wire it shut.
Wow. Shit is crazy, man. Can't believe we're talking about the shit we're talking about right
There's
now.
no longer 5,000 people crossing the border like there was under Joe Biden. Now that the National Guard wired that shut, on average, there is one illegal immigrant crossing the border at that location a day.
Imagine that. Wow, you mean walls
When Joe
work?
Biden and Kamala Harris refused to even come to Texas and to see the border crisis that they created.
What, you mean the borders are?
To them. I began busing illegal immigrants to Washington, D.C.
Greatest goddamn political stunt in history. I love
We
it.
have continued busing migrants to sanctuary cities across the entire country.
Damn straight.
And
You
those
want to be a
buses will
sanctuary
continue
city?
to
Here you go,
roll
buddy.
Until we finally secure our border.
That's right. Make them deal with the shit they're fucking advocating for.
Fortunately, I see hope on the horizon. Because on November the 5th, Joe
Barely.
Biden will be
Man.
fired.
It's going to be a hard mop up on aisle
Once
3.
again,
Okay.
become the President of the United States of America.
They did a lot of fucking damage on aisle 3. Okay. And aisle 4 too. It's like two big fat black bitches fighting in the Walmart. You know what the aisle looks like after that?
And he will arrest the criminal illegal immigrants and put them behind bars. Or send them back.
And the left is going to go maniacal over this divisive language tonight at this divisive, dark, divisive speech tonight.
It is time to restore order at the border. It is time to rid our streets of crime
That's clever.
and chaos. It is
Restore
time
order at the border.
to secure our nation by returning Donald Trump as President of the United States of America.
Yes.
Thank you all. God bless.
God bless the United States of America. Wow.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Let's go to Rich Matthews, who is a Texas-based reporter who often covers the border. Rich, react for us to what Governor Abbott
I got
had to
some
say
new
there.
sounds you're going to really like on this
Well, I
soundboard.
mean, the first thing I'll do is just a quick fact check. He talked about thousands of crossings under
I was
Biden
listening to
and
the
then
White
said
House press
one
briefing,
a
and I was
day
like,
at
oh,
that
that's delicious.
location.
I need
That
that
location,
from
very
green
important
concrete.
caveat, because
And then-
certainly those crossings have just moved.
Was-
A lot of that Constantina
was one
wire,
of those-
razor wire that he talked about, he has had to take
Australian
down. But certainly Greg
Chinese
Abbott,
Australian.
his number one issue
But
is
no,
the
it was
border.
some- no.
That speech was
It was
pretty
some
much
guy
every
who-
speech I've heard from Greg
Puts in a lot
Abbott
of
the
clips
past 3
about a
years.
story and then
I
goes,
have been
like,
down to
puts
the
in a
border
movie
with him.
clip or some
He's a
shit like
vocal
that,
supporter of
reaction.
Trump and his border
There
border
was a couple of
policies,
good ones in there.
and a very vocal critic of President Biden and his. And finally, I'd say again that theme of
So-
murderers, rapists coming across the
Really good
border,
audio.
something Abbott often repeats in his speeches.
Sorry, I
Not surprising
got
at
into
all
one
that he
that's
spoke here tonight. And what we've
Yeah,
really
yeah,
heard is
added
just
4 new
on
sounds.
message for Greg Abbott. Libby?
Thanks, Rich. Let's talk about the tone that continues to be set tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Greg Abbott is likely to be Donald Trump's DHS secretary. I've heard
He's
that
sick.
he's interested in the job. I've heard that Trump is
It's just the cover story?
amenable to putting Greg Abbott as the
Oh,
Homeland
he's sick,
Security
he's dying of
secretary.
COVID.
And he really, I mean, that entire speech was about immigration. This new chance, send them back. There are signs in the audience that really do say mass
Here we go. Let's
deportation
go.
now.
Let's
Like,
see
just pause there
President
for a moment.
Kamala.
You're
Let's
seeing
go.
signs in the audience that say mass deportation now.
So
That's right.
Joe Biden
I mean,
is
that-
sick with the
it
COVID-19.
actually
That's what we're
holds
chatting
well.
about
That's
over
the
here
truth,
offline.
is
Here.
that, I think like it's a
And
national
maybe
left,
this is the
and it kind of
exit
horrifies people,
strategy.
but
What do
more
you
than
think?
7 in 10 Americans
Right?
disapprove
Hotep, what do you
of
think?
how Joe Biden has handled the border.
Think
they don't appreciate
Joe is going to bail out and go.
They believe the border
I'm
was
sick.
much better under Trump, and
Is that what's going to do him in? Is that what's going on, man? What's happening?
I think
What do you
those
think?
numbers are wildly exaggerated. 1 million people, but it's true that there has been a massive surge at the border, and Greg Abbott.
Hey, Coon. Well, he's got COVID. You think that's the thing he's going to use to step aside?
The loudest cheers yesterday when
What do
he
you
talked
think?
about flying the migrants to Martha's Vineyard, and it has been a massive burden on New York and Chicago and other big blue Washington, D.C., Democratic cities.
Oh, they'll figure out
So
how to get his name
Republicans
back
really
on the
are
ballot.
pressing
Trust
their
me.
advantage on what they see as a big winning issue, especially in the border states.
And we have to just remember that Ron
COVID,
DeSantis,
how many boosters
there
has
was
he
an
had?
attempt by Democrats and some Republicans
Probably
to
that
pass
many.
legislation to deal with the border crisis earlier this year.
I haven't had COVID once. I'm just saying.
Don't vote for it, Republicans.
Neither has my wife.
who is a Republican.
Neither of us.
Very conservative, loyal.
I'm not even sure it's a real disease at this point. They say millions of people died. I'm like, well, they say that, but I didn't see any of them. Not a fucking one. I had one guy. I was when I was working at the firewood place. Oh yeah, fucking alcoholic, right? Never shows up for work. He had COVID like 6 times. I'm like, yeah, he had COVID. No, he was hungover. Okay, he didn't fucking have COVID, for fuck's sake.
Get them on their feet. And like you said, the signs that are being passed out right now, the platform that Trump released as well and has been talking about mass deportation. And to James's point, yes, this is an issue that is polling pretty high with people when they rank what issues they care about the most. And it does affect a lot of folks down at the southern border. But
So if you want your fill of whiny bitches, you know where to tune in. You tune in to TruthSlinger Live. We have got whiny bitches galore. They have lots of cats, especially the one on the left. Many fucking cats.
Bring the border to everyone, and they're not done yet. There's more to come on this issue tonight, and of course,
That lady is like the embodiment of Trump derangement syndrome. It's like coursing through her fucking body, and she's just somehow has to go. I mean, I love it. These people are like, I know he just got a bullet almost pierced his head, but I really want to say bad shit about him.
Democrats are vulnerable in a few moments.
Really, I wanna.
East Palestine.
Let me.
Where there was that terrible freight disaster, the rail disaster, and Joe Biden was really criticized for not going there right away.
Yes, he was. In East Palestine.
Tell us more about what the mayor's presence here signifies.
So it was a huge tell last week when we found out that the mayor was going to be speaking on Wednesday, that J.D. Vance would be the running mate, because this was actually a key moment in J.D. Vance sort of rising to the top of Trump's list. And also it was a key moment in Trump's comeback. Remember, right after the 2022 midterms, people were thinking Ron DeSantis, one of the Rupert Murdoch tabloids called him the future of the party. And Vance and Don Jr.
It blew up? You're
to
saying the wind farm
just
fucking
weeks
fell apart?
After this tragedy where this train blew up, fortunately no one died, and Trump stopped at McDonald's and brought
I fucking hate wind turbines. Really hate them.
And he looked like a
And I hate solar panels, and I'm off grid. I hate all forms of alternative energy. They fucking suck dick. They suck. All of them.
Because he thought, wow, Vance
Okay,
has
it's a
political
fucking
instincts.
scam.
Vance has asked very little of Trump, but one of the
Like the battery technology is not there. That's the biggest problem.
Which Trump did. The second was Vance
Battery
asked
maintenance
Trump to endorse
fucking
his
sucks,
bipartisan
man.
bill with Sherrod Brown, a rail safety bill, and Trump did endorse.
So windmill blew apart. That's pretty
the
funny.
Republican Party over business. Mitch
You know,
McConnell
they don't
was
want any of them wind farms anywhere near.
Republican on the Commerce Committee, which has jurisdiction.
Where do they all? Martha's Vineyard. Yeah, they don't want any on Martha's Vineyard. They're not interested. Sorry, yeah, we don't want any of them.
Norfolk Southern agreed to a multi-$100 million
No, thank you.
settlement with the EPA. There was this
Why do you
report that
suppose they
came
don't
out
want
from
them over there,
NTSB.
right?
It said
Because they're
essentially
stupid.
that
They
the
look stupid.
wheel
These
overheated on one of the
motherfucking
train
elites.
cars, and that caused this derailment.
Fucking elites.
So what the Vance Brown legislation would do is
I'm so
require
tired of
more sensors
elitism,
along the way
guys.
so we would know
So
sooner the
tired
rail-
of
the wheels were overheating.
it.
It's fascinating because Sherrod Brown sees it as a way to get reelected. You know that he's working with with Republicans. J.D. Vance sees it as a way to show he's bipartisan and populist, yet it hasn't come up for a vote.
Yeah, and it's been. Sorry, we got to go now to the mayor of East.
There's
Palestine,
not
East
one
Palestine.
bit of that
Just
shit's
heard him introduce
recyclable
Mayor
either.
Trent Conaway. After that,
You know
we'll
that,
hear
right?
from Governor Doug Burgum.
Not
so stay tuned.
recyclable. Boy, this guy's a big boy. Big boy on the stage.
Good evening.
I'm large.
February 3rd, 2023 began like any other Midwestern day, but in a heartbeat, everything changed. I'm Trent Conaway, the proud mayor of East Palestine, Ohio.
Oh, that's terrible, man. I hate the Green New Deal. I hate everything about it.
When the train derailed, spewing flames and toxic chemicals to our town, faced a disaster unlike we'd ever seen. And in the chaos, we witnessed a clear contrast between leadership and incompetence. Our first
you mean
responders
George
didn't
Burns?
hesitate. They raced to the scene, they battled the flames, and evacuated our citizens.
Mike
And for that, I want to
DeWine.
thank every one of them tonight.
Hi, Denise. It's good to see you, sweetie. Nice to have you here.
Unfortunately, the Biden administration's federal response was much different.
Our omnipresent
It consisted
Denise.
almost entirely of meetings and press events. They talked and talked, but they delivered little help. Then there was a clear difference between former President Trump and President Biden. For the longest time,
For the whole
White
month of
House was
July?
silent.
Are you shitting
We
me?
never heard a word from Vice President Harris. I
Wow.
guess we weren't their type of folks.
Yeah, was it a good
Hollywood
nap?
elites or Wall Street billionaires live in East
I hope
Palestine.
so.
Just hardworking
My naps
Americans.
these days, they're hit and miss. If I'm a stressed monkey, I don't nap so good. If I don't have a lot of stress going on in my life, I can nap well.
First, he called to ask permission to
Right.
visit, not wanting to intrude.
Lately-
and then he asked how he could help.
Gotta leave for
When he
Florida
arrived
and
with
shit.
fresh
I'm
pallets
like
of
waking up
drinking
sweaty
water,
in the morning.
He
You
met
know,
with everyone,
it's not good.
from first responders to local officials and residents. He toured the derailment site,
Good. I'm glad you had a good nap, sweet.
and he shared a meal with volunteers at a local McDonald's.
Good deal.
His presence was genuine. His concern was real. After a year of criticism, President Biden finally did show up. His appearance
You can
was
take
brief,
naps.
forced,
Take them.
and scripted.
Take them when you can get them. Smoke them if you
Met
got
with a
them, right?
select few and then left. We needed so much, and he delivered so little. I know
Can
a
you-
thing or two about train wrecks now, and let me tell you, that's what the Biden administration has been.
Denise came. She's here. Denise is here. You saw her, right?
Before President Biden derails our entire nation, we need to act. We need a leader who values small town communities as much as big cities. We need a president who loves all Americans.
Oh, nice. This. God, man.
Donald J. Trump.
None of these people that put forth these policies have any idea
Ladies and gentlemen,
what it's going
please
to
welcome the
do
Governor of North
in the
Dakota,
long term to the environment.
Doug
Not a fucking one of them. They're stupid. I'm glad this guy's not vice president.
And hello, North Dakota.
He kind of freaks me out a little.
Feels good to be here. The last time I was in Milwaukee in this building,
Boone's Farm, I think, would work pretty good with that, right?
and I stood on
Maybe a
one leg
little
for 2 hours.
Mad Dog 2020 might be
Guys might
nice.
remember I blew my Achilles
On the
day
rocks,
before.
of course.
But to kick things off, I have a question for you.
Ooh.
And I need your help answering so nice and so loud that everyone at home can hear you.
What?
Are you ready? Who will make America
Can't do it, I'm
energy
trying.
dominant? Again,
I sound like a slee
who will
stack.
make
It's not working.
America energy dominant? Well, that's pretty good, but it's after 4 p.m. in D.C., so how about one more time loud enough to wake up Joe Biden? Who will make America energy dominant?
He's
That's right, because when
just
President
not an
Trump
attractive
unleashes
human
American
being. Am I
energy,
wrong?
We unleash
Yes.
American prosperity.
He's just
and we
everything
ensure
about
our
him is
national
just
security.
like, would you like to buy a
Serving as
used
the
car?
governor
I mean, come on. I mean, tell me I'm not
having a
wrong.
beautiful breeze
I mean,
at our back.
seriously.
He cut taxes and he cut red tape.
I don't know.
Serving as a governor under Joe Biden
I just don't
has
like
been
him.
like a gale force wind in
I mean,
our
I like
face.
his policies. I like his
Biden's
stuff.
war on energy hurts every
Don't like his
American
charisma.
because the cost of energy is in everything we use or touch every day. Biden's red
Do what?
tape has raised the price of the gas in your car,
Diddy,
the
dumb,
cost of
diddy,
food on your
do.
table, the clothes on your back, and it's even raised your rent. Biden's green agenda feels like it was written by China, Russia, and Iran. Let's look at Biden's EV mandates. Where do nearly all the batteries and rare earth minerals come from? China, you know. And the day that Biden
The what?
halted permits for clean U.S. natural gas export
All right, that's good.
facilities, just think about the party they must have thrown that night.
Uh-oh.
Because Biden's policies are making Russia and Iran
Well, breaking
filthy
news.
rich.
Okay.
And they're using that money
The Democratic Party is in a
and
total
terrorism
meltdown,
against
guys.
our allies.
I don't know if you know that. Whoops.
At home, Biden is
Sorry.
acting like a dictator. He's
Yeah,
using
they're totally
mandates to
melting
shut
down. Imagine that.
reliable baseload electricity. That's why your electric bills have soared upwards
China.
as our nation's electric
China.
grid reliability spirals downward. 4 more years of Joe will usher an era of Biden brownouts and blackouts. Imagine
Virus
no
was from
electricity for
China.
your fridge, your lights, or air conditioning. President Trump will ensure that there is power for you, and importantly, that we have the power as the United States to beat China in the AI arms race.
What's really great right now is there's practically nothing coming out from the Democratic Party.
Unleashing
I mean,
American
like
energy
very,
dominance
very
is
little.
our path back to
It's just
prosperity
the
and
RNC is just crushing it. Okay. I mean, you could pick it to pieces if you want to. It's the most successful Republican National Convention in fucking history. It's never been like this.
Will be
It's exciting,
the big
okay?
stick that President Trump will carry. Yes, President Trump will make sure that America is selling energy to our allies versus buying it from our adversaries.
Well, yeah.
Innovation has always been the source of American
You think it's going to
greatness.
end in thermonuclear war?
President Trump
Do ya?
champions innovation over regulation. Last year, over that
It's-
whole
it's
year,
like
my wife
50-50
Catherine
to
and I
me.
traveled all across America. As all of you know, it's rural America.
I think
that
they might
feeds the
hold
world,
off.
that
Yeah,
fuels the
COVID, my
world,
ass.
and defends the world. Small towns with a huge impact, and rural America is Trump country. In North Dakota, we know
I
one
would-
thing for
I
sure,
would tend
'cause
to
we've
agree
seen
with
him
you.
do it, and that's that the hardest working
There's no COVID
president
going on.
in American
There's something
history
else, and it's
is
not
Donald
COVID.
J. Trump.
We're gonna be all over this news for the next couple of days because, man, shit's breaking fast now. We're gonna fix it. God damn
President
it.
Trump cares deeply about
Right?
every American.
Damn straight.
Rig workers, truck drivers, roughnecks, and yes, America's great farmers and ranchers. President Trump cares deeply.
He's wooden. He's
about
like
you.
John Kerry. That's
We
my
know that
impression
he'll
of him.
fight for
Like
us.
he's our
fight for our families.
John Kerry on the
And
right,
we know one more thing. He'll let all of you keep driving
like a
your
block,
gas-powered
like a 2x4,
cars.
like a fucking 2x4.
When President
It's a
Trump
great time to be alive.
unleashes
Holy
energy
shit, man!
dominance,
You kidding me?
He will make America
It's
affordable
insane.
again. He will make America strong again. And when President
And I'm
Donald
not.
J. Trump and J.D.
I'm
Vance together,
I'm kind of a mess
they
right
will
now.
make
I'm
America
kind of
great
depressed and
again.
whatever, personally speaking. But like, holy shit, what's going on right now? It's like that's what I'm trying to tell myself. It's just like, wake up, man. Just be,
Ladies
just be
and
right
gentlemen,
now. Be in
please
the
welcome
now.
former counselor to President Donald J. Trump, Kellyanne Conway.
Now, this is an effective communicator and strategist right here. Kellyanne Conway, she's a sharp woman.
Good evening, Patriots. 8 years ago, Donald Trump shocked the system and defied the doubters to become the 45th president of the United States. He didn't want fortune or fame, power, and position. He already had all of that. Donald Trump and his family made enormous sacrifices to run and to serve as president. He didn't need to do it.
Enough? Yeah,
he
okay,
wanted to do it. My relationship with Mr. Trump
Mama's going to join us for a minute.
under fire in a
I want to
foxhole
watch Kellyanne.
in 2016 after he asked me to be his campaign manager.
Donald Trump's done more for women.
That he was making
You know how many
history
women
as the
he's
first
hired? He hires a lot of
presidential
women.
nominee ever to tap a woman to lead a campaign. But that was a natural for Donald J. Trump. He had elevated women in New York real estate decades before when few people would. One morning, I was in an early senior staff meeting in the White House, and as I glanced around the table, something caught my eye. In that meeting were Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Mercedes Schlapp, Brooke Rollins, Ivanka Trump, and me.
Wow.
I soon realized that among us, we have 19 children.
Wow.
At the time, ages 2 through 16. Show me a C-suite in America where 5 working moms of 19 young children could have the highest rank in the company and work alongside the president.
Oh, yeah. Sharp cookie.
Yeah.
She is a sharp woman.
In the Trump White House, we lived it.
Yeah.
Sure, he saw something in me and the other working moms that perhaps we did not see in ourselves. But more importantly, he sees what's best and what's possible for millions of decent, hardworking Americans. Now, 8 years later, he and his family have made the sacrifice again for him to run and serve as president.
No.
Donald Trump could be the envy of former presidents. He's a billionaire who could play golf every day.
Don't they all get facelifts?
Courses. He can enjoy a magnificent life with his incredible 5 children, his 10 amazing grandchildren, and that extraordinary, elegant, beautiful, brilliant wife. The former and future First Lady, Melania Trump. He does not need to do this, but we need him to do this. How often do we hear,
We could all use a facelift, shit.
without Trump's personality? Well, good luck with that. We don't get
How old
those
is she?
policies without that personality.
I don't know. I think she might be like 56, 57.
She looks good. I'd do her.
Taking out al-Baghdadi and Soleimani.
Are you like 13,
ending the ISIS
Tim?
caliphate.
Forever.
Recalibrating trade deals. Restoring sanity, growth, and fairness in our economy. Making
that
our
I
southern
definitely do
border
her.
more secure and sovereign. Supporting school choice.
She's 57.
Protecting life, respecting workers, backing our blue, our military, and our border patrol. You get that through strength and toughness. Weakness emboldens our adversaries, enables failure, and empowers evil.
Yeah.
You got that right, Coon.
Weakness is strength. The antidote to division is unity. And the alternative to failure and incompetence to
There he
Joe
is,
Biden
man.
and Kamala
Donald
Harris
J. Trump
is
Jr.
to send
He's
them
coming out. He's going to do his
send
speech.
Donald
I'm so
Trump and
excited.
JD
Come on,
Vance
stick with
to the
us.
White
This is
House.
exciting.
Wonderful. Who's next?
We've been covering this shit all night, man, since 6 o'clock. Yeah. I think he's next.
If you know
Seems to be.
someone who is skeptical about the Republican Party or who is cynical about politics, don't dismiss them. talk to them.
She got that nice bedhead kind of hair. You know what I'm saying?
In Donald Trump's
I like it.
Republican Party, everyone is welcome. We have been called deplorable, irredeemable, mega extremists,
I know.
and worse.
She's gonna start
But
chucking
Donald
shit at
Trump
me.
sees you for who you are. You love your God, you love your family, and you love your country. In
Total MILF.
2024, there
Total
should be no
MILF.
more hidden, undercover Trump voters. It's time to put that flag on your front porch.
Yep.
That red hat on your head.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep.
Because
What?
we don't cave
Nothing-
and we
nothing,
don't
honey.
cower,
Everything's
and we
fine.
do not capitulate.
Everything's fine.
Instead, we get up.
That
we
blue
show
dress.
up. We stand up.
Oh
and we
my
speak up.
God.
That's good, dude.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's
this
really
is
good.
your movement. This is your moment. And this is the man I know and the president we need for 4 more years.
That's right.
He picks the toughest fights and wins. He has stood by me, and he will always stand up for you. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
Do you remember though? She went through a period where she looked like a meth addict.
Oh, she was looking rough, dude.
So, yeah.
But you know what? I mean, imagine the demands of the job she was doing at the time. Oh my God. She probably was doing cocaine or some shit, right? Which is cool with me. Like, I like chicks on cocaine, you know.
Share their belief system. Tell us more about how
You're sitting.
women are factoring in
You can't
and the
do
messaging
that.
is factoring in this week.
I'm
We've
telling
now
on
heard
you.
in the last
Telling
24
God
hours
on you.
4 different women,
Oh.
Nikki Haley, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Laura Trump, and now Kellyanne
Get.
Conway, try to put sort of a softer tone, a softer image on to former President Trump. And
Listen to this
while Haley
chucklehead.
was trying to sort of bridge the divide of kind of the Haley primary voters who were not voting.
You know, remember that divisive rhetoric that was going on just a few minutes ago? Oh my God! What to stop? Remember?
Speech just now, even try and bridge the divide.
All right, you can hear it now, right? Listen to my new sounds. I'm gonna do my new sounds for Jen and all of you. I'm just gonna do them, right? I'm just gonna do them, right? They're not related to anything. Okay, here we go. Ready? Are you ready?
Fine.
I'm gonna get my wife's impression on this, and I want your look. I want feedback. I want feedback. Ready? You ready?
Yeah.
No. No. No.
Is that you?
No, it's not actually. It's a black guy.
Oh, really?
It is. It's a black guy from a video.
No.
It is the right tonality, isn't it? I mean, I could replicate it or reclipate it.
So don't do that. Please
I
don't.
could if you want me to.
No.
All right, check this one out.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
I like that one.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Was that Tom Cruise?
Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
No, it's not Tom Cruise.
Oh.
Who's got a guess out there? Do you know who this is?
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Nicolas Cage.
Does anybody know who that is?
I don't. Help us! Help us!
All right, I'm gonna give you a clue. Science.
All right, play it again.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Science.
sounds
Science.
so familiar.
All right, come on, guys. Come on.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Okay.
Is it someone from
It's
Star Trek?
it's all right. Oh my God, how many clues can I give you? Okay, it's the science.
Bill Nye. the
Yes,
science
that's-
guy?
That just makes no fucking sense.
I've
I mean,
never
it's
watched
just
him
bullshit.
before.
That's Bill Nye, the science guy.
I've never watched him before.
Yeah. So anyway, all right.
hear
Are you
he's
ready
an
for the? Are
asshole.
you ready for the next one? Are you ready for the next soundboard sound?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you really ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes. Are you ready for us? Down.
Beg me.
Down.
Beg me for the next sound. Come on.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, Creamy Jean-Pierre.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
Oh, that's
Nothing
cool.
has changed.
Okay, that's better then.
Right?
Yeah.
And then check this one out. This one, you're going to like this one.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
Oh my god.
What the hell was that?
I'm gonna lose my mind. Who is that? Oh my god. You're crazy.
What the hell was that?
Do you like them?
Yeah.
You like them?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
All right. All right. Oh my god, I'm gonna hurt you.
What the hell was that?
All right. Are we all done there?
Yes.
Okay.
God
All
sakes,
right.
please.
All right.
Nothing has changed.
Oh my god.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing. No.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to use that a lot.
Who was that
That just
again?
makes no fucking sense.
Bill Nye,
I mean,
the
it's just
science
bullshit.
guy.
Oh. See, I don't.
It just makes no fucking sense.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
That's just
Does he-
bullshit.
why is it? I didn't know he swore. I thought he was a kid's.
Yeah, well, no, he's a radical leftist, radical, rabid man.
Oh.
Man. Do you want to call him a man? All right, so what the hell's going on? Let's listen to Whiny Bitch. Okay. All right, let's listen to Whiny Bitch.
Come on in, the water's warm. Kind of.
Come on in, the water's warm.
An hour before, even 15 minutes before, railing about murderers and rapists.
Oh, railing about murderers and rapists.
The question, I guess, will be how do these messages get consumed by people and who really hears them?
That's right, and I think
You
I
know
talked
what?
about this
There
earlier
are
in the
some
week about
murderers and
audience
rapists.
tuning, you know?
Yeah,
I think
you know?
parties,
You know what I'm
both
saying?
But
Just
specifically,
are.
the Republican Party knows how to make messaging for the groups that they want to talk to. So yes, this was a message for suburban women who are going to be an important bloc and always are. It's also a messaging to those who are just uncomfortable with a lot of the rhetoric. We've all talked to voters.
The Republican Party is typically terrible at messaging, and they're finally doing a good job. Finally.
Talk about each other.
And the left is losing their frickin' minds.
It does feel a little bit like we are riding a little bit of a wave this
No,
week, where we
back
are
off.
hearing, an hour ago, we're hearing some very angry words from Peter Navarro, and then we're hearing from Kellyanne
Angry
Conway.
Peter Navarro
The
words.
party, we're inclusive. So
Just
which
gonna
way
hurt
people
you.
are going to win out, I don't know, but they are targeting.
Come on,
It's
man.
almost a version of micro-targeting.
Yeah. Tyler, welcome. I hear Joe Biden has COVID.
It is a remarkable moment for me, particularly, to be sitting in this convention hall because the state of disarray in the Democratic Party right
Disarray.
now is at a level
General
I haven't
disarray.
seen in years. And to be here with all of these cheering United Republicans,
It's
all
driving
on
you
board
crazy,
for
isn't it?
Trump's third run and his bid for a second term.
That
It's just
sucks.
such a dramatic split screen to what we're seeing in Washington. Our colleague Michael Shearer and I just
Told
broke
you
a
they
story
can't
about what
stand it.
Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries said privately to Biden in their meetings over the last few days, where they said,
Coco, who's
"Look,
that?
we're worried that your continued candidacy threatens our ability to hold either chamber of Congress." And that is significant because they are the leaders of the party.
I
But
really
also,
wish,
it just
bet they
shows
wish
where
they
this
wouldn't
is
try
going.
to
We
kill
saw,
Trump. Don't you think? At
Congress
this point, they're like,
today for Biden.
wow, we really shouldn't have done that.
Rapidly each day, it feels
It
like
just
more
keeps
data
getting
points
bigger
that
and
just show
better
the party
and
breaking at the
stronger.
seams. And it's just such a dramatic contrast to what
He's
we're
the
seeing
energy
behind us here
monster, I told you.
Even though we're talking about different
Just
messaging
sucks it
coming
up,
from
man.
Republicans, they are all
He
united
goes,
in their message to clearly
throws out a
elect
big
Donald
shield,
Trump for another term. There's no
blows
dissension,
everybody
there's
away.
no,
He's like a DC comic
there's
character.
No shouting from groups like we might have seen in 2016. I mean, this
How
is
many
a
cats
unified
again
group.
does this lady
I do
have?
wanna just-
Oh, I'm sorry.
So the latest reporting we have on Joe Biden's health, because he's had a terrible, I mean, a very no good, awful, terrible day. There's like a children's book along those lines.
Bad
Joe
health.
Biden has had the awful, no good, terrible,
Whoa.
bad day, week, month. He's
Hello.
okay. He has mild symptoms, but this does curtail what he can do, where he can go, his ability.
Right, you know, yeah, where? He can't go places now. He's got COVID. Holy fuck, he can't go anywhere. He can't campaign.
And he's expected to quarantine there. We saw an
he's on
image of
quarantine
him getting out of
now.
the motorcade, boarding Air Force One. He was not wearing a mask, but said he was feeling okay. And so we'll see
wow,
what that
going
means, how long
down
he
in
stays in.
flames.
And he's taking Paxlovid, and he's
Yeah,
following Dr. Weiss.
but he has a really busy stretch ahead of him. He's supposed to do a fundraising swing on the West Coast. later
An
next week.
existential dingleberry.
What?
That sounds. I like. Yeah, I even like saying it. Joe Biden is an existential dingleberry.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds good. I'd buy
he
that.
is. Snip that bitch off.
Back off.
Energy he's lost over the several weeks since the debate. And usually coming out of a Republican convention is a crucial time for the leader of the party, the top of the ticket,
you
to be
handle
able
Tater.
to push back against what some of this
You
message,
respond.
some of this unity, and present a different vision.
Hang on, Mama's gonna come get you.
He is not going to be in position to be that leader that I think a lot of Democrats want to hear from at a moment when they're just coming out of this 4-day celebration of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance.
Tell us more about your reporting of what the leaders, the Democratic
It's great
leaders in
to
the
see
House
these
and Senate
people
are
so
telling Joe Biden,
uncomfortable.
and how
This is
much-
why
I mean,
I'm
there's
not
no
watching
question about
Fox News coverage. This is more fun.
Who is
I
in
think you
Biden's
would
ears?
agree with
Like,
me,
who
right?
is he listening to, and who even has access to him? So how have they reached out to him and communicated?
Yeah, so
This is the
Jeffries
rebirth,
had a
man. This
meeting
is the
with Biden
this
on
is the
Thursday night at
completion,
White House.
the
On
unification
Saturday, Chuck Schumer had a
of the
meeting
Republican Party
Joe Biden
under
and
Donald
his
Trump.
House in Rehoboth.
It's
those meetings, we
completely
knew that they occurred. Both
retooled.
leaders
It's
put out very
awesome.
terse statements, basically just acknowledging that they occurred, but we didn't know what they said.
Oh, man,
Michael
Fox
and I are
News is just
reporting
like
that what they said is that your continued
controlled
candidacy
opposition
threatens our
would be
ability
my
to win,
most
control
succinct
of the House and keep
way
control
to
of the
put it.
Senate. The Senate one is interesting.
They have
because really only that for
transgender
the,
bathrooms
Democrats
at
to hold the
Fox
Senate
News,
is
so
for,
fuck them.
Joe
Okay.
Biden to win the presidency and break what would be a 50-50
They have
tie because Joe
transgender
Manchin's not
bathrooms
running
at
for
Fox
Senate,
News.
but Democrats are
Yes.
very pessimistic about their ability
Yes,
to do that
because they're owned by
there's so many
BlackRock.
incumbent
Did you know
senators
that?
running for re-election.
Yeah,
Democratic
they're owned by
senators in red
BlackRock
states.
kids.
And
Fox News.
when you look at
Yeah.
the House,
Which is why you want to
Democrats
like,
have much
subscribe,
better
share,
if Trump
follow,
won and they lost
all
the
that
Senate,
shit.
they
Send
felt
us
the House would be
money,
the
support
bulwark
us.
against a Republican trifecta.
We are the alternate
Hakeem Jeffries, his-
news
his-
media that's
his
going to
members
tell
are
you what
very
you need
concerned
to
about their path
hear.
forward with
Right?
Joe Biden at the top of the ticket.
J.M. Rieger, can you tell us more about how
Republicans in
Democrats are
name
moving forward
only.
with Joe Biden right now as the presumptive nominee? We're marching along to the Democratic Convention, which is still quite a few weeks away, but there's a mechanism in place by which Democrats would have to select their nominee sooner than when the convention kicks off in mid-August. Explain to us how this is working and what's the rush?
I'm going to take us back to late May for a moment, Libby, for our viewers. There was debate at the time. There was an Ohio law in the books that said that if the candidate was not nominated at their convention 90 days plus before Election Day, then their name would not appear on the Ohio ballot. Ohio at the time in late May had not passed an extension for Biden because their convention is less than 90 days before the November election.
Bit uncomfortable, hey?
Democrats at the time decided that they would move up the nomination, the formal nomination of Biden as the
These
nominee
people have their panties
via a virtual
so
roll call.
much in a
So
bunch.
they decided in late May,
They don't know
and then
what
their
they're
whole
gonna do,
membership
which
of
is
the DNC
great,
approved
man.
it in June that they would do this virtual roll call in early August.
It is BlackRock.
Ohio
Yep,
passed
that's what I
this
thought,
law
Denise.
in
That's what I
this
thought.
extension
BlackRock.
in late May. The Ohio Secretary of State, the Ohio Governor have both said now that a virtual roll call is not needed because the
It's a
deadline
controlled
is now
opposition, man. We need two
September 1st,
sides.
which would be after the Democratic Convention for Biden's name to get on the ballot. There was fear
They're not going
this
to be able
week
to
for
switch.
Democrats,
There's no fucking
because
way.
there
They're not
were
going to do it.
rumblings
They're not going to do
that
it.
the DNC would hold a virtual roll call and nominate Biden as early as this weekend. The DNC has since backed off that, said that this virtual roll call would occur in early August. Still, they say that the DNC has said that they can't trust Ohio Republicans. And I'll just note, Libby, that this extension happened for both Barack Obama in 2012 and for Donald Trump in 2020, because the incumbent party's convention traditionally comes after the party that's out of power's convention. So that's how we got into this scenario.
The plots
here, but
of
we have
movies,
Democrats saying that they don't even want this virtual roll call
can be
nomination
created
to occur
from the reality that is what we are living through.
Open,
Does that make sense?
In
is that
terms
lucid?
Of whether Democrats need to replace President Biden atop the ticket before the November election.
Reality is stranger than fiction. Is that another good one
power
to
struggle
use?
happening right now among Democrats. Rhonda,
dystopian
what is the
reality.
crucial moment
We're
here?
living
Is it
in a
next week? Is it the
dystopian
next 2 weeks? Is it the
reality.
convention itself? Do we even know yet? What's the hinge point?
It's a reality that should never have been.
I would say probably
okay,
the week
because
before
they
the
stole
convention,
the fucking
will be
election.
pretty important if this isn't
They
all
stole
squared away.
the
I'll
entire
also add, this does
presidency.
add a bit of a logistical
Just gone,
edge
stolen.
to the Trump
So the
campaign,
last 3.5
because we
years,
know that
everything has
J.D.
been
Vance and Kamala
illegitimate.
Harris
Think about
have
that.
spoken by phone,
Legally
but they have not
speaking,
yet
think
agreed
about
to a
that.
debate.
Okay?
To debate before
Every
the
fucking
DNC.
thing
And
that
one of the things that
cocksucker ever
the Trump
signed
campaign said
is
that they don't know
illegal.
who the Democrats
If we
are
find
running,
out those
which may
fuckers
make
cheated.
sense to a lot of people. So, again, this is
Yeah, not
something that the
to
Democrats are
mention
gonna have to
Afghanistan,
figure
all the
out.
other
There isn't a lot
devastation
of
those
time.
fuckers wreaked.
All right, we are watching.
They don't know what they're
what's happening
doing.
on the
They have
floor. In just a
no
few minutes,
fucking
Kimberly
clue what they're
Guilfoyle
doing at
will
that home.
speak, and then, of course, tonight it all culminates
No
with
idea what to do with
J.D.
power.
Vance, speaking, he'll be introduced by his wife. What is the messaging that
The
Democrats are
cabal,
gonna
that's
try
what
to
it
go
is.
after
It's
J.D.
a
Vance on?
cabal
Yeah, one of
that's
the
been
big
running
things are going to
everything.
go on is abortion. That's an issue that animated Democrats in the 2022 midterms, and something that they feel that J.D. Vance has a record on, that they can really attack
Matter of fact,
him
this
and keep him out
entire
of touch.
administration.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit.
Broader swath of Americans who the Biden campaign will argue do not support the types of restrictions J.D. Vance has supported or said he would support in previous comments. So a lot of the Biden campaign messaging is around his policy, his positions on abortion, which is, an interesting dynamic, as we were just talking about earlier. Kellyanne Conway, some of these other prominent women in the Trump orbit trying to make overtures to
You're too
female
kind,
voters,
Denise.
people
Much
that
too
may not
kind.
be so comfortable with Trump, his personality, but like his policy. The Biden campaign is really going to try to paint J.D. Vance as out of touch with not just Democratic women, but a broad swath
We
of
appreciate
American
you,
women
and we
who
will
are
try to
uncomfortable
never
by,
steer you wrong.
serious restrictions on abortion.
Okay? We will always try and bring you the
Tyler,
unvarnished
what words do
truth.
you use right now to
Best
describe
we
the
can.
Democratic Party? I mean, there was like the headline forever, and forever meaning like the last couple of years, Republicans in disarray, right? And now it's almost like it's like a meme, right? Democrats in disarray. What words do you use to describe the situation right now?
Yeah, there's a sense of despondency and despair. I've been texting with people as we're sitting here, people just saying, I can't believe this, what's happening, why? Schumer and Jeffries and Pelosi and Obama, they're all concerned. Why is there nothing working to get to Biden, who remains, by all accounts, extremely defiant at the prospect of stepping aside, and increasing fears about the shrinking circle around him. We've written about all of these trends, and Democrats just keep building. Each day there's one or two more lawmakers that call for him to step aside, and it doesn't seem like any of those strategies are working. We see more polls that show that he's trailing in key battleground states. So there's just a sense of frustration, despondency about the real prospect that he is not going to step aside. And not only is Trump going to win, but Republicans will take control of the Senate and keep control of the House.
Today, James,
If
there was
she's a
shift in what
natural-born
Biden's been saying.
citizen,
He's been
I don't
saying
think
up
it's
to the
an
Lord
issue,
Almighty
dude.
about whether or not he would step down. The answer is no. But now he's saying
It doesn't
if a
matter the
doctor told
origin
him
of
there
her
was a medical
parents.
reason, I'm paraphrasing.
It's whether or
In
not
an
she was
interview with
born
BET,
a citizen.
He said, if a doctor says I'm not up for it, I won't run. And this was before he was diagnosed with COVID. And he is sort of moving the goalposts. There's also some indication that maybe, certainly with Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer going to him, that he's opening the door. The campaign, we know, had been polling on how Kamala Harris would do head-to-head against
It's
Trump.
whatever
And
you're
it is really
saying
striking
is
that
never going to gain any
Republicans have
traction.
decided
It's like
strategically
irrelevant.
They don't want J.D.
And
Vance
I don't mean to be
debating Kamala Harris
mean.
before
Okay,
the convention,
you might
because
be
I think
very,
that
very
they-
right. It's never going to see the
Republicans
light
said
of
that
day.
if Vance
Okay,
wiped
it's
the
like
floor
It's not the major issue
She
here.
wouldn't be the nominee.
The issue
Biden
is
wasn't the nominee,
Joe
and you
Biden,
heard them tonight
his
saying
incompetency,
Harris Biden a lot more than
and
they
her
even did the first night.
incompetency.
And I think that they
And so
Republicans are
it's
concerned about
perhaps it's
kind of the uncertainty
tertiary,
of it being someone besides
right?
Biden
Yeah,
or
not
Harris.
even
They've spent
secondary.
the whole week attacking Biden-Harris, and so I think that they don't want to knock her out too soon.
I hear you. I hear you. But you know what? There's a lot of things that are against the law that people do all the time. Okay?
Introduced from
Right?
the podium, and
You know
now
this.
You can see him walking in.
So,
It really does have like a WWE.
I mean,
sort
you
of
know,
vibe
I don't
to
think
it, doesn't
Obama
it?
should have
Him
ever.
coming in
I don't think
UFC.
Obama was a fucking citizen, a born,
He's
natural
coming
born
into the
citizen.
music.
Right?
This
So
is a man's world.
there he is. There's our president.
So we're watching the crowd cheer for him here.
Man,
This
I
is a
love our
Republican Party that
president.
is entirely unified behind that man, Donald Trump.
It seems as if the applause and the yells.
You know what?
keep
You
getting louder
you may be
every day
right. Okay.
because
The question is, can you
RNC,
prove it? Right?
Their
It's one thing if you
enthusiasm
know
is taking a
something, and it's another thing if you can prove it. That's the standard that we got in this country, guys.
Here, yeah, Trump has just gotten to the top of the stairs, so people are screaming. There are physically just a lot more people here than there were last night. The third level of the arena last night was about a quarter full. Tonight it is completely full.
You know, and I mean, it's not a small point.
A lot more noise.
It's
in the
not a small
arena.
point.
And
You know, can
Trump's
you
relishing
prove it?
in
And then if you
the
can't,
box that he's
like
about
for
to go sit
example,
in,
the other
is
day, I
Marco
don't know if you
Rubio,
watched the
also Glenn
we
Youngkin,
covered the trial of
governor
Alec
who spoke
Baldwin.
earlier in the week, and Don Jr.
You know, the prosecution
in the second
fucked up,
row
man.
is,
And if
Speaker
they would
Mike
have done that
Johnson,
shit against me, I'd have been
Mace,
pissed,
the
and I'd have been
congressman from
happy that I got
Carolina,
off.
who,
So
spoke
I have
earlier
to say,
this
as much
evening,
as I fucking
and,
hate Alec Baldwin,
Trump
I
is-
think he's a total
is coming, I guess, to the
douchebag.
final 2
I think
hours
he was totally
of
guilty.
programming. Monday night, he
The
just came to
verdict was
final hour.
right.
Last night we had
Was right.
reporting that
Now
Trump came
I
earlier
think
than
she should have
planned
thrown it out
because he
mistrial
really wanted to
without
see
prejudice,
Nikki Haley's
so that he could have been
and Ron
tried
DeSantis'
again.
speech
That's my
endorsing
personal
him.
opinion.
Tonight
Right,
he's
but
come, and we'll watch his pick to be his vice president. There he is shaking Glenn Youngkin's hand, who's standing next to him.
We're also going to be watching for Donald Trump's energy tonight.
Totally.
He seemed to really flag last night
He did.
and lose energy as the night went on.
It's also interesting. I mean, this might be a
Yeah, he
pop
knows
culture
where
thing,
the
but
bodies
the
are
choice of
buried,
this song,
Denise,
to
which
walk
is
out to
exactly
this song,
why I
the
want him
lyrics,
in for a second term.
Right, his wife is
Right,
not
that's
next to him.
that's
because
my
part of the
biggest
lyrics.
argument.
This is a man's world, but it wouldn't
Okay,
be, without
he
a
knows
woman.
where the bodies
His
are
wife is
buried.
not with-
I don't give
know
a shit
the
what you
meaning
say
of
about
Walk
any
Out
other
to That
person. I'm
Song
like,
is, but it
they
is
don't.
an
They have to start over.
So that was It's a Man's
Donald
World
J.
by
Trump
Luciano
does not.
Pavarotti and James Brown.
Okay.
And this is all intentional.
And
It's like people get a walk
he's
on
got to
song
fire
like
up his
baseball,
ass, and he's
right?
got
And we know that
vengeance
Trump
in
has
his heart.
favorite songs, but
And
they
I'm down
picked
with that,
this
guys.
song to have
I'm
us
down
down
with a
to.
little
Let's go hear
retribution. Are
Kimberly
you?
Guilfoyle, who's now on the stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, like you, I have spent
I wouldn't.
much
I,
of my
all right, I'm gonna let me put this on the
last
record.
few days in
I would
prayer.
not do Kimberly
And I
Guilfoyle.
know that God has put an
She freaks me
armor
out.
of protection over Donald Trump.
She's like a fascista. Every time she gets on, and she starts screaming at people, yelling
We
at
are all
people.
reminded that love for our nation and the beauty of life itself transcends all hatred and political divisions. I stand before you tonight more convinced than ever. This is the most important election in our lifetime.
God, why does every time she talk just grates on my nerves?
This election will decide the fate of our great nation. And that is why we must elect President Donald John Trump.
Oh my God.
This is not just
Can
a
you be
choice
any more
between
monotone?
Republicans and
Holy
Democrats.
shit.
This is a choice between safety or chaos, wealth or poverty, national sovereignty or
She must give good
open
head.
borders.
That's what I'm saying.
This election is a choice between Joe Biden's vision
I bet she can suck the chrome off of a 1957 Chevy.
vision
You know what
of
I'm saying?
American greatness.
She's harsh. Harsh. Every time I hear her, she always comes across as harsh.
Country strong, safe, and prosperous. He will make
I'm glad you're
America
back, dude.
feared by our
We're just getting our psyches sandblasted by Kimberly Guilfoyle. Oh, Jesus, Lord. She's frightening.
After 4 years of Joe Biden's disastrous America Last agenda, our country is more dangerous, vulnerable, and impoverished than
I really
anyone
want to
had
like
thought
her.
possible.
I swear to God.
President Trump handed Biden a booming economy and a strong nation.
She looks like a fucking
All
stripper,
Joe
an
had
old
to do
stripper or
was
something.
Leave it alone and take a nap.
She's hard.
But Joe just couldn't help himself. Joe Biden cannot lead America.
I don't think she's an effective spokesperson. I just don't. I think she needs to fucking sit down.
Now Americans
Shut
are
up.
drowning in inflation. Insanity spreads like a cancer in our schools. We are closer to World War III than any time in my life.
I think she turns people
We
off.
are facing an unprecedented invasion of millions of illegal
I mean, she is right. She's right about everything. But her delivery sucks.
looters go free, while Biden and the Democrats persecute American heroes like Donald Trump.
See, I mean, this is not endearing to Donald Trump. It's just like
Tens of millions
angry,
of Americans
mean,
are
and
made
nasty.
to feel like enemies in our own country. An enemy for wanting to defend our border, for not wanting our children indoctrinated in school, for not wanting to erase our history, for praying to our God, saying what we think, and fighting for what we believe.
Nothing wrong with the
It
message.
is no wonder
But
that the heroes
it's
who stormed
falling
the beaches
flat.
of Normandy and faced down communism sadly say they don't recognize our country anymore. This is not an accident.
I mean, when the crowd starts murmuring,
We'll say anything to
you know you've
crush and
lost
destroy
them.
the America First movement. But we
They're murmuring.
give up, and neither will Donald J. Trump.
She sounds like a despotic dictator.
I know I speak for patriots
I'll watch it.
when I
I'll
say
watch
we
it
are
tomorrow,
fed up.
dude.
We are
Can't promise you I'll watch it
outraged
tonight.
about sex trafficking and drug trafficking across our southern border.
Every time somebody sends me something, man, I check it out.
Forever wars. We are done being told by the radical left to sit down, shut up, and obey. The Democrat vision for America is governed by fear.
It's kind of like she's lecturing us.
political oppression.
Is it lecture? Would that be a good word? You feel lectured?
By a love of our country, love for our fellow citizens, and our love of
Like dressed down. I don't like that feeling. Oh, that's interesting. I'll watch that. I will. I'll watch it. I promise. I'll watch it tomorrow.
and deport the violent criminal
Thank you.
aliens once and for all.
See, she's pissed. She's like angry. It's not a good look. Not now. Not now. It's not a good time.
In our vision, America will combat foreign aggressors and ensure our service members are protected, not abandoned as they
Native born and natural born. All right. All right. I'll watch it. I will. I'll watch it. I get it. I understand why you're sending it to me.
peace through strength. We will restore an era of national pride where freedom of speech is respected and cancel culture is ended. Where high school girls only compete with other girls, not biological.
Yeah, man, I got you. Oh, I know, right? She's like busted my eardrums already.
Where struggling cities never put criminal illegal aliens above our heroic veterans and brave law enforcement.
I mean, the words are good.
Our streets are not ruled
Delivery
by gangs and rioters,
blows.
but governed by law and order. students
Just
are
blows.
freed from failing schools and corrupt teachers' unions through universal school choice. Where our most sacred institutions are not weaponized against political opponents, but are fair, equal, and just. And where we teach our children to love our country, learn our history, and respect our American flag.
God, she's like a robot.
I believe in America.
Okay.
I believe in our freedom and liberty.
I bet you do.
I believe in Donald John Trump.
Tiresome.
And I want Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and all of the radical Democrats to know this. We will not be bullied into obedience. We will not cower in silence. We will fight for America because we love America.
Say goodbye. Go away already, please. Oh, no, don't encourage her. Oh, shit. Come on. No, stop. Oh, you stupid crowd. She's going to keep talking. Stop, 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 stop. Stop.
I stand before you as a working mother.
Oh, a working mother. Give me a fucking break.
Latina.
Oh, she's a Latina. Latinx. Come on. What are we doing here? What are we doing here playing the race cards?
The measure of the man that stands before us.
Donald Trump
will never stop fighting for you.
Leave. Just leave the stage. It's going to be better for all of us if you just go away, please.
So join me.
Oh, God. Okay, all right. We'll do it. Just go a fucking way. Just go away. Just go away. Just go away. Just go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away.
Victory is
in
our sights. America's future is in our hands. America's destiny is in our control.
Tell me when she's done yelling at me.
America's prosperity is in our hearts and souls.
Oh.
America, this is your moment.
Oh.
Will you stand for President Trump?
Oh, no, Jesus Christ.
Rise up, ladies and gentlemen, lovers of liberty and freedom and the
Oh.
American dream. This is our last chance to make America great again.
Okay, you yelled so loud. That was amazing. Thank you for screaming so fucking loud. Make America great again. Now get the fuck out of here and don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. If we never see you at another fucking convention, I will be happy. Oh, Jesus.
Her 2020 speech where she sort of woke everybody up during a sleepy COVID year with a rousing speech. She's trying to do it yet again.
God, she's so
coverage
shrill.
National convention. Let's go to Jorge.
What the fuck? How do I describe it?
With a delegate, Jorge.
Hey,
So I'm
Jorge.
here with Shelby Bush from Arizona, and Shelby and I were talking earlier just about
Hi,
some of the
Shelby.
language, some of what's come up in speeches regarding immigration. And Shelby, I wanted to get your take on just how have you felt that messaging has been so far during this convention, specifically about you live in Arizona, specifically around immigration.
So it's been coming up a lot, and I think there's a lot of mixed feelings out there about some of the messaging, like the mass deportation and various things. But I think
Really?
most of that isn't the message itself. It's how it's being spun or how it resonates with people that don't understand the heart behind it. So.
Tell me
So
a little bit about your
what?
experience. I mean,
What did you just
were talking
say?
A little bit about you know, the community that you live in, and then what you felt. I mean, you said that there was a picture taken, and that sign, the mass deportation sign, was near you, and you didn't feel great about that. But like, tell me a little bit about sort of what your own kind of lived experience in Arizona.
Absolutely. So I live in a predominantly minority community. I'm actually one of a handful of white families in that community. And, you know, a lot of the kids that grew up with my kids were dreamers. I coached them in baseball. And so I have a real heart for the minority community and the people in it. And we're very close to our neighbors. I think when people think about Republicans calling for mass deportation, they feel like we're calling for like their grandmas and their kids and, you know, their loved ones to be deported. And really what it's about is we have to secure our border and know who's here. And then we have to start mass deporting those that should not be here, meaning the criminals and the criminal refugees. There's a lot of people with criminal records in their home countries that are coming across our border and bringing that crime.
I'm so
And
tired of being called a
kids are
racist.
dying. We had a 1-year-old overdose on fentanyl in our very own neighborhood. Kids are dying at an unbelievable rate. My kids have all lost friends from fentanyl, right? So we have to get the people in the cartels and the coyotes that are human trafficking out of the country. And we need to do it fast for the security, not only economically of this country, but the security of our safety. And it doesn't mean we're going to deport grandma. And I think it makes me uncomfortable because that message isn't being conveyed by the media.
Do you? But signs that say that. I mean, that is a very rough message. And some of the messaging was earlier tonight. Trump's former trade advisor, Navarro, talking about how
Guantanamo Bay,
illegals were
dude.
taking jobs from Americans. I mean,
Guantanamo
do you think that
Bay.
messaging resonates with you, with people here, or do you think it's too harsh? I mean, do you think
The island of
signs like
misfit
mass
toys.
deportation,
We
I
need
could
to buy
see
an
why
island,
people would get nervous
and we just
thinking,
need to
"Oh my God, they're
populate
gonna
it.
deport my
Island of
grandma,
misfit
they're gonna-" I mean,
toys.
Is that the
Deport
best
all
type of
Democrats.
messaging if you wanted to make it, I guess, more compassionate?
Well, I don't think that it's an uncompassionate message. I just think it's not a clearly laid out message, right? I think
I'm one of those guys that doesn't think we need to dial this down and turn the temperature down because they're not going to turn the temperature
what does that
down.
look like, right? How do
No,
we
let's
do
get it on.
And I think we need
Let's
to,
get it
instead of
on.
talking about
Let's do
the fact
this.
that it needs
Come
to
on.
be done, we
Come
need to start
on.
messaging
Let's
how we intend to do it and
fucking
what
do
that's
this.
really going to look like, so that people at home don't feel threatened by that or misunderstand the heart or the intent behind it. People need to know, what does that policy look like? What does a mass deportation
Pretty
look
much,
like,
I'm
right?
pretty sure.
What does it look like to secure our borders? And I think we need to start pulling
What do they
away
say
from
about
the
California?
phrasing and the one-liners.
What ain't
We
fruits and
have
nuts
to
is
start having
flakes?
a
It's like
broader, more
granola.
open conversation.
Who would you like to see deliver some of that messaging you're talking
Yeah,
about?
let's do this. Come
The
on,
Vice
man.
President, the pick for the Vice President, J.D. Vance, is speaking tonight. Donald Trump.
I got new
obviously
noises,
tomorrow.
Waz.
They
Listen.
should be the ones that kind of dive
no.
into what you're talking
That
about.
just makes no fucking sense.
Look,
I
I
mean,
think
it's just
it
bullshit.
starts with the president. I think
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
What the hell was that?
Are starting to see his love
See?
for
Look
America.
at that.
And he truly loves American
Production
citizens. So I would
value.
like to see him elaborate on what this looks like, right? What does that plan of mass
All right,
deportation
you
look like, and
lovelies.
what does
Hold
he intend to
together.
do when he secures the border? I think people
Come on,
will
man.
understand that, and I think they will actually support that and appreciate it. So I can't wait. I think once this nomination is finally accepted by the president and we move out of this convention, we're going to hear that. But I also think it's important that local
Yeah, one of these
leaders in
days
the
I'll get
states
actual
start
command of
really
the board.
talking
You know, I
about
keep
the
adding
messaging
sounds,
more
and it's like,
helping citizens
where was
in the
that?
community, specifically in the minority communities, understand the heart behind the Republican message, and that it's about securing our border and making sure our people are safe. It's not a racist message at all, and it's not a message that we don't want immigrants in this country. My parents were Italian. My grandparents were Italian immigrants, first generation, and every Republican I know loves immigrants. We love immigrants because they came here because they chose to, because they love America. So I really think we need to start expressing that in better terms.
But is part of that messaging creating a path for some of the immigrants that have come here already?
Mm-hmm.
So you were talking about the people that you want to get out, but what about people that have come here looking for a better life for their families?
Well, I think the first thing is we got to hope that they came here legally, right? Because
It's a fucking
there's more
straw
things
man.
that
Okay, most of the people coming across the border are military-aged
illegal immigration
males.
does not help the immigrant. because they're underpaid, they're underappreciated. Oftentimes they have no help with
This
those
idea
labor
that we're not going to
problems.
be able to eat
And we need to know
if we
that
shut
they're
down the border,
legal.
all of us are not going to be
So
able to
I
have
think if they're
strawberries
legal-
anymore.
A legal
Oh,
immigrant
no.
here, then they
No
understand
more
that
fucking
it's the illegal
avocados.
immigrants that